The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Yes, speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Thursday, August 12th, 2021, years after zero. Today's show is loaded. Can't thank you enough for watching and listening wherever the hell you may be today. We got 3 guests that we have never had before, and I cannot wait to chat with them. Gable Steveson, Olympic gold medalist wrestler, a guy from Minnesota who did the he did the 6.5 second buzzer-beating takedown to win the gold medal over the guy from Georgia who looked to be a ginormous human being. This guy's an electric factory guy. I cannot wait to chat with him. He's already tweeted Dana White and Vince McMahon. He's 275 pounds, just won a gold medal, and does a round-off backflip, dead body backflip like it's no problem at all. Maybe one of the most explosive humans our Earth has ever seen. Cannot wait to chat with him and see what he's going to get into in the next coming months, days, years. Carli Lloyd will be joining us.
What?
Huh? Big soccer show.
Let's go.
Big soccer
Big
show.
soccer show. Nobody ever talks about it. We've covered soccer kind of pretty in-depthly here. We talked about the number 3 overall soccer tournament on earth, the Europes.
Of course.
We talked about the Gold Cup.
Yeah.
We talked about the
Concava.
The Concava, which were champions. We talked about Messi being Messi and then finding home in Paris. I mean, we've covered the Olympics. I feel like we're potentially one of the biggest soccer shows on earth at this point. We even got a British guy that calls in and tells us what's going on over there in Nigel Seeley. I feel like the soccerness of our show has grown at a rate that none of us could have expected or wanted. Because watching the sport is tough to do. But the one team that you can always depend upon being great. Now, didn't win the gold, obviously, in this Olympics, but our U.S. women's nationals team is normally the team that we say, hey, we got the ladies. Yeah. Here we go. Didn't win it all in the Olympics, but Carli Lloyd has been an OG on this team for a long time, has won a gold, has accomplished a lot of things. Cannot wait to chat with her 1 hour from now. I assume when she gets off that phone call with us, she's going to say, that show's the worst show I've ever been on.
Good chance.
Never again.
At Ty Schmidt and at Boston Connor are here. What are you excited to talk to Carli Lloyd about, Ty Schmidt?
Well, I just want to know if she was actually close at any point to signing with an NFL team or getting a shot.
Okay.
Because she was kicking,
Field goals with the Ravens.
And then they had the whole Bears thing where they were trying to find the kicker, and a lot of people were saying, well, hey, maybe Carli Lloyd goes over there and kicks for the Bears.
Good pop of the football off of her foot whenever Sam Cooke was holding for her at a training camp, I believe. She dominated that. She scores goals. She's a guest in 1 hour from now. Cannot wait for it. And then in 2 hours and 55 minutes at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show, the problem child, Jake Paul, will be joining.
Wow.
That's right. Keeping it a YouTube exclusive strictly because Jake Paul basically built YouTubing. Yeah. Okay? So I can't wait. I feel like we're doing him quite an honor by doing that. And I also believe that Jake Paul is good for the sport of boxing and for everything. Cannot wait to chat with him at 3 p.m. I'm sure people are going to absolutely love it. Can't wait to talk to you as well on the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. Call in with your questions, opinions, and everything in between. At Ty Schmidt, wearing that John Deere denim button down.
Yeah.
Big day to be in Iowa. Big day to be a New York Yankees fan. Big day for corn.
Yeah, absolutely. Field of Dreams game tonight. And the closer we get to it, I am getting very excited because, you always talk about the thing that people like about baseball who aren't baseball fans is all the bullshit that surrounds the game itself.
Bingo.
And that's what we're getting tonight. A lot of pageantry. Kevin Costner's back for, I think.
What?
Yeah, exactly.
He got off of that gang thing that he's got running over there in Montana.
Yeah.
And he's coming all the way over.
He left the ranch for a little bit.
And he put on the old fit.
I think he had denim on him, if I'm not mistaken. He's back in Dyersville. It's only a town about 4,000. There's going to be 10,000 plus there at the game tonight. And I'm also, like someone mentioned it out there, very hot in Iowa, so balls are going to fly tonight.
Into the field.
Into the cornfield.
Here we go.
And it is. Like, you look at the pictures and everything, like, it looks awesome. I really wish I was going to be there tonight, but it's going to be pretty sweet watching it on TV, too.
There ain't nothing better than hopping off your John Deere.
No.
Okay, right there in the town of 4,000. Going down on Main Street there.
Yep.
Stopping by the bank real quick. Let me get a couple extra dollars because I want to buy an American Pie hot dog, apple
no,
pie hot
never.
dog from Guy Fieri at this thing.
No Iowans are doing that.
I'm just telling you what I would want to do if I was an Iowa.
Okay.
Hop off my John Deere.
Sure.
Okay, go downtown, get some money to get the apple pie thing, go and watch the boys play a little baseball. America's pastime in the middle of a goddamn farm. Is there a fence out there, or is it home run just if you make it to the corner?
No, so they. I think the way it's set up is where the actual movie was. Like, the people are going to walk in through there, and then they kind of just have like a pathway to the other field that they just built. There is a wall in the outfield, but then right on the other side of the wall is the cornfield. So
Okay, so are we gonna see any humans going into the corn?
it's possible.
Can of corn! Yeah, it's gonna pop up.
exactly. Hopefully, some of the players will walk out from the cornfield when the game starts, like they do in the movie. We'll see. I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, it's not a boring game. I hope there are a lot of bombs and we don't get just like a pitcher's duel, because there's a lot to be excited about in this game.
Should we not have Shohei Ohtani versus the New York Yankees in this thing? Is this not the team that we should have playing in there? And how does this? Do the Yankees always play the White Sox? Are they in the same thing?
They're both in the American League. So
how did the White Sox become the team that is doing this?
To be honest, I don't know. I want to say that last year when they were going to do this, when it got canceled by COVID, they either were going to play the Red Sox or the Cardinals or something like that. And I think that it just kind of, this is the way it fell.
Is this like the Lions taking Thanksgiving? You know what I mean? Like, hey, you guys are going to have a little corn party. All right, the whole world's going to watch it. Our terrible team that never gets seen is going to play in it then. We're going to do that. We are going to lock it in. We are going to, Zito's handling business right now, it sounds like. But we are going to lock in that we are in that primetime spot in the cornfield forever. If that's what the White Sox are doing, I love the business move. But for me, I don't know if that's going to drive me away from preseason football tonight. Here we go. New England is playing tonight against
the Washington football team.
And Mac Jones is playing?
He's definitely playing. I believe him and Cam is also definitely playing. Fitzmagic, Heineke, both playing. This is going to be an absolute battle tonight.
Hall of Fame game stunk.
It was terrible.
It did.
Okay, Hall of Fame game stunk. It was like the cornfield game. All the pageantry around it made it a much better viewer experience. I will pop in to see if any balls are going in the corn.
You need to. You don't need to watch the whole thing, but you need to pop in at least once.
It'll be put on the internet. I assume I'll be able to see it if a ball goes into the corn or whatever. And I will hopefully get a good review or 10 from the great people of Iowa that have that apple pie hot dog that Guy Fieri put together specifically for this Field of Dreams game that Kevin Costner's probably going to eat 2 or 3 of them.
If Costner wants to eat a couple, that's fine. He's not from Iowa. But like I said, Iowans, they don't want that bullshit.
Yet Guy Fieri shows up with an apple pie hot dog. Iowans are lining straight up. Remember, Iowa also the home of John Wayne Gacy.
Boom. How about that?
Oh, yeah.
How about that?
Oh, yeah.
I actually heard they're doing an in memoriam for him before the game tonight.
I mean, he did get Man of the Year over there.
Waterloo JCs, that's right.
Anyways, it's going to be tough to watch that.
No way.
It's going to be tough to watch that game if you're not a super baseball person or, maybe
from Iowa.
A nostalgia act. Or, I mean, I'll pop over there, but I think everybody's going to bounce over to see what the hell's going on in this Washington-New England game. 1 week ago, that Hall of Fame game was trash. No points, no real good plays. Defense was flying around, but it's mostly shit because there's only 5 days of practice leading into that. Tonight, you got Bill Belichick coaching.
What?
All right. Mac Jones trying to earn a job there.
What?
You got Ron Rivera with his team back on the same page, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Ryan Fitzmagic literally looks like Teen Wolf right now with the way he's built. Heineke is Fitzmagic at the same time. Cam Newton's probably going to be playing a little bit if I had to guess because of what's going on up there. This has a chance to be an actual good football game, and we're back. Is the NFL season back?
100%.
We're back.
Feels like we're back.
We're back.
We did it.
Everybody on earth is going to be pulling for the Washington football team to beat the hell out of the Patriots tonight, I assume. But I'm excited to see what Mac Jones got out there. Boston Connor rocking an incredible new mullet. Need to get you some of these so that we can see that thing because the headphones, I think, are kind of impeding on the beautiful fade that you have for the Kentucky waterfall, for the business in the front, party in the back, for everything you got going on. But tonight is exciting, I assume.
Massive night. You finally get to figure out, okay, Mac Jones isn't going to be wearing number 50 this year. What is he actually going to be wearing? Let's see what that happens. You mentioned the Pittsburgh-Dallas game before. Neither of the starting quarterbacks were playing. I feel like in this game with Mac Jones, Cam Newton, Heineke, and Fitzmagic, you just mentioned, kind of battling. I don't know about Fitzmagic, Heineke if they're not, but Newton and Mac Jones is a full-on battle. Hopefully that's, first quarter Newton, second quarter into the third quarter for Mac Jones, maybe get him some time, and then let the wild Hoyer run wild, because I have full faith in the New England Patriots getting the job done tonight. We are a great preseason team, and Brian Hoyer, unbelievable quarterback. I mean, he'll get the job done for
Brian
us.
Hoyer did make a couple decisions last year as quarterback for the New England Patriots that would say, hey, that guy should be playing in the fourth quarter of the first preseason game.
Exactly.
Okay, there was a couple of those moments. Yeah. But Hoyer's going to be around, right, obviously, through the year. So him playing in the fourth quarter isn't like a complete slight on Hoyer. He is just in third. He's the third-string quarterback.
He's the guy like for Mac, basically. What has been explained by a couple of people who've been at practice is Hoyer will go in, he'll, do a drive or whatever, and then it's essentially like, okay, Mac, that's how you want to attack the defense, because him and Newton are so different. Newton can scramble and run around. Mac's more, in the pocket, just moving.
Hey, he's
with
a lot
his feet.
more athletic than everybody's saying.
That's right. He's got some swag. It's weird.
There was a lot of things said about Mac Jones whenever he was the expected, projected 3 overall, that San Francisco 49ers got rid of numerous future first-rounders to go up and get. We learned a lot. That actually happened the same day, I believe, as the Alabama Pro Day, and Mac Jones went out and put on a show. There was a couple drops, there's a couple this, but then we learned a lot about Mac Jones because Mac Jones, very similarly to Joe Burrow, only had 1 year in college to really do their thing. With that Sarkisian offense that was brought into Alabama and Mac Jones' big-ass brain, they were able to run motions. They were able to utilize all the 5-star blue-chip weapons that they have in that offense that we thought could have never been able to touch what LSU was able to do just a year before. They were putting up numbers. Because college defenses are rather basic, and that's just how it is. That's how it always will be, I assume, because you can't really do as much. You don't have as much time in the football IQ. Whenever you're not just studying film all day or getting tells, you can't be as aggressive. I believe the Clemson defensive coordinator is a very aggressive. There's a couple of them maybe out there, but most college defenses, because of either the turnover of player and new players coming in, are pretty basic. So if you have a sophisticated offense with motions and you have a quarterback that can dissect the defense quickly, cover 2, boom, this is the hot. Mac Jones was able to do that with Alabama last year. Got Sarkisian the head coaching job at the University of Texas immediately after 1 year of success. So once we started learning, he's much more athletic than you think. His off-balance throws are good. His arm is strong. He's faster than you think. Once we started hearing all that shit, I started learning about Mac Jones. I thought, man, there's a 100% chance this guy is going to be a bust. This guy at 3 overall is going to be a bust. Seems like he's come out of nowhere. Then as the story continued to unfold, and then obviously Trey Lance is a mini Patrick Mahomes. He's the one that they were actually targeting at 3. Mac Jones drops to New England, and immediately upon him going to New England, you start thinking to yourself, of course, the guy that I thought was potentially going to be a bust and maybe somebody reaches too much for and doesn't have enough experience, and who knows. And it wasn't just me that thought this. A lot of people thought this. Of course, he falls to Bill Belichick. And then you see the photo. Mac Jones with no shirt on. Looks exactly like Tom Brady with no shirt on. Then the comparisons coming from his former teammates. He's going, oh, Tom and him. It's like, all right, what does that mean? Then you start hearing he's picking up the offense very, very quickly. You start hearing the fact that he's dropping balls into absolute buckets. He's got more swag. He's got more, the team likes him a lot more than you could ever imagine. It's like, is Mac Jones about to be a fucking guy? Yeah. And does the New England Patriots know that is potentially the outcome, and that's why they spent $150 million in the first day of the free agency tampering period? Imagine if Bill does this with the Patriots again. And we will have no idea what the future looks like after tonight. No. There will be an overreaction tomorrow from this mulleted man up here 100%. For sure about one way or the other. Mac Jones is either going to be the greatest quarterback of all time starting tomorrow, or we might be in trouble starting tomorrow. Let's go Cam. There'll be something like that out of him. But I think tonight is our first chance to kind of see, like, okay, everything's been said about Mac, both good and bad. What is real, what isn't, and does this guy have a chance to be the squad? Or is Cam Newton, 1 year removed from the old Uncle COVID showing up at a dinner he had with somebody else, is he all the way back? There's a lot of storylines coming out of New England. Washington's kind of an afterthought. No offense to Washington. I got you guys winning the NFC East or whatever. Right. But tonight in New England, we're about to learn a lot about potentially the next 10 to 15 years.
Yeah, very pumped just to see the Patriots back on the field with some fans in the stands. And for Mac, the biggest thing that at least I think that I've heard out of camp is that he'll go in, he'll screw up, he'll make a mistake, but then going forward, he won't make that same exact mistake again. And also, Belichick and McDaniels will absolutely rip into him, and it won't really affect him as much, and it'll almost motivate him. So I like that type of stuff, and it'll be good just to see him toss the rock.
Oh, he likes to get coached up, you're saying.
Exactly.
He likes the fact that he gets coached up.
Yeah, he gets motivated. Yell at me. I'm trying to get pissed off so I can throw a touchdown 90 yards to Jonnu Smith.
Now, you are potentially a little bit overhyped, and you shouldn't be, because no, you should be, actually. There was a video that surfaced of Mac Jones out of training camp where he threw an incompletion. Do you remember that? He threw an incompletion, and Connor was losing his mind because of where the ball was located.
Yeah.
Right? It was a little bit of an overthrow, kind of. The wide receiver definitely could have made a play, but it was every video or every play that was coming out about Mac Jones out of training camp was a good one. It really did seem like that was the case. This is just like Aaron Rodgers throwing the goddamn balls into the buckets. It's like, what are we not seeing? Is there terrible reps from Mac Jones? I guess he has thrown a pick in training camp and everything like that. But with the way it's being talked about Mac Jones, it's almost like this guy is being anointed as like the next guy. I guess tonight, second, third quarter, we'll get a chance to see it, hopefully. In other preseason news, Justin Fields is going to play all the way into the second half, I guess, for the Chicago Bears. Andy Dalton not playing at all then? Is that what that means?
Yeah, probably not, right?
I figured he'd get at least a couple drops because if he's playing in the second half, you think they're going to give Fields damn near 3 quarters in this preseason game?
Probably the first half into the second half or whatever. I don't know. Unless Andy Dalton's doing like a drive or 2 or maybe 3 to get him comfortable. But if Justin Fields is going to play into the second half of the first preseason game, even if you don't think he's going to be a great quarterback, you have to assume he's going to be able to outrun some people and move around and scramble and keep plays alive. I like that a lot. Who knows what the Dolphins are going to have on the field?
Right.
I don't know if Tua's going to be playing much out
it.
there. Jacoby's probably not going to be playing much unless they got Jacoby playing. If they got Jacoby playing a lot, we're going to have to change this entire thing around. Gumpy, our Dolphins expert, has told us, though, that Jacoby's probably not playing. Jacoby's not playing.
Yeah, I mean, if Jacoby's not playing, I definitely don't think Tua's playing. I would imagine they want to do whatever they can to get to the season with him being 100%. But, yeah, if Justin Fields is playing 2+ quarters and the Finns are playing some guy who's probably not going to make the team at quarterback, hammer the Bears.
Yeah, me too. Ipso facto gambling 101. This is going to be my new thing. If I see something, I'm immediately betting it afterwards.
Yes.
And we'll see how this works out. This might be a mistake, okay? I might lose this one. I might lose the next one, and I'll have to adjust my strategery. But in my eyes, this seems like the smart bet, and we're trying to take every single dollar from this stupid FanDuel Sportsbook.
Without question.
I have to use this handheld mic because this microphone was working for YouTube, but not for Sirius, I guess.
Yeah, so for some reason, I don't know what happened, but like Sirius couldn't hear you. They could only hear you off these mics, but YouTube could hear you perfectly through that mic. So it's very odd.
This is Zito, our production expert back there. Also, he was handling a potential punching machine being delivered as the show was going onto the air.
Yep.
Then what, Sirius called you and said, hey, we can't hear a word he's saying?
They said, 12:02, we couldn't hear a word you guys were saying over there. I was like, yeah, he's talking. YouTube could hear him.
Hey, shout out to YouTube. So is it this microphone just basically said, like, hey, I don't want to do it with Sirius anymore, or what?
Yeah, he hates Sirius, I guess.
What's that microphone trying to tell you? Jeez.
Whoa.
Hey, I love Sirius. Next guy.
But we're trying to figure it out. We'll get that up and going again for you.
All right, I'll do a handheld. That ain't no problem to me. There's a couple other stories around the NFL here that are worthy of note.
Mm-hmm.
Michael Thomas got injured last year in junk time, garbage time. Hurt his ankle. All season it was a story alongside the Saints. Michael Thomas, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Everybody will put him in the top 5. I'm not getting into who the best wide receiver on earth is. He's in the top 5. He is a guy that people talk about. Obviously out of Ohio State, an absolute weapon and a stud for that Saints offense, alongside Kamara, Taysom Hill, and obviously for a long time, Drew Brees. But last year, when Michael Thomas got hurt in junk time, that thing lingered all year.
yeah.
And allegedly, via liked tweets from Michael Thomas, we have learned that the New Orleans Saints did not want Michael Thomas to get surgery last year. They wanted him to treat it, rehab it, get healthy, played a little bit, was nowhere near his absolute best, missed some games, came back, was ready to play, got benched because he got into a fight with CJ. Last year for Michael Thomas was a catastrophe with the New Orleans Saints.
Yeah.
It came out after the season from his people, I think, or maybe it came from Breeze's camp, that Michael Thomas was playing at the end of the year when he definitely shouldn't have been because he knew it was Drew Brees' last go and didn't want to waste the opportunity.
Wow. Good teammate.
Good teammate, Michael Thomas. Then the offseason comes. And if we're reading the situation right, it sounds like the Saints medical staff, the same one that maybe told him we could play through this season and not get surgery right now. And I'm not, hey, that happens in conversations. Like, hey, think you can battle through this? We can get through this and then do a surgery at the end of the year. I'm not sure if that was the conversation. It has happened to me. I assume it's happened to other people. Like, hey, we can get a surgery later. Michael Thomas seemed to have lost trust in the New Orleans Saints medical department, the coaching department, decided not to get his surgery, then cut off contacts with the New Orleans Saints for 3 months, came back, had to get surgery, is going to miss 7 to 8 weeks. Sean Payton has come out and said, fuck it, and not happy about it. Michael Thomas has subtweeted and subposted about the entire situation. Then Sean Payton had answered, said, I'm not doing a press conference based on social media situations or something like that. It seemed ugly. Jay Glazer told us it doesn't end good. No. This has been going on a long time. This doesn't end good. Well, good news, Saints fans. They sat down. They got a little, they got a little bit of, what's that stuff?
Gumbo.
Okay.
They got some gumbo. Probably extra spicy down there. Extra spicy gumbo. They talked to each other over a couple hurricanes.
Yep.
They drank a couple hurricanes. They each potentially forgot exactly where they were or what they were doing because those hurricanes do hit very strong. I have no idea how those things are legal. They give you basically a bucket and say, hey, go ahead and just... Don't remember anything from the night. Shout out for New Orleans for doing that. It's a blast. They had a situation where they talked, and I don't know if they had hurricanes or gumbo or what they were eating down there. And allegedly, things are much better than it was before.
Wow.
Sometimes a little sit down can maybe make some things happen. Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports, which is still a company, says, despite issues in recent weeks between the Saints and wideout Michael Thomas, sources said the wideout had a productive meeting with head coach Sean Payton, and the two sides are working to move past their frustrations. Was Vince Vaughn and Wilson there saying, hey, let's put our swords down? Is that what happened? There had to be someday. How about the wedding night? How about when you signed a deal? Is that what happened? I like seeing this, by the way. People get past situations so that they can continue to thrive together. Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks, we seen it. Aaron Rodgers, Gunther Kuntz, Murphy.
Here we go.
And everybody else. Is that going to be able to happen? We'll see. This one seems like they're getting back on the right foot. This is good news, especially for the football team. Whenever your stars get along with the team, that's good news for everybody.
See, I assumed it was bullshit. I don't know why. Just because, I mean, with how pissed off both sides were. Sean Payton in that press conference, like, you don't see him like that hardly ever. Michael Thomas is quote tweeting stuff. Like, I thought this was maybe just them like, hey, we got to put the fire out on this right now before, like social media kind of carries it to a point where it is irreversible. But you think this is genuine? You think they really did get together and things are much better now than they were 2 days ago?
All right, let's think back to a time of the past.
Sure.
Whenever you, and by the way, I'm not saying that this is how it should be now. I'm just saying this was something, and this was how something was of the past. You and somebody don't get along, you get mad at each other. So mad at each other. Very mad at each other. You actually might have a physical altercation with that person. You might actually throw a bomb and land that thing on a jaw or a face somewhere, and that might get returned from that person that you never thought. And then immediately afterwards, once that entire dump is out of you, whatever emotional dump that you have out of you, it's in those moments where the most clarity comes, is it not? It is in those moments where you potentially say, all right, I'm done with this shit, and there's the handshake that happens after. Doesn't always. There's some people that we know from our area, they're going to hate each other forever. It makes no sense. They fought before, and then they would fight yet again if they could get the energy back and do it again. It never made sense to me. Thought they should maybe get over it. But we've all seen those types of people. But most of the time, when somebody has it out with somebody, gets loud, gets emotional, a lot of energy, normally you get back on the right side of things. Normally on the other side, there's a moment where it's like, okay, I respect you a little bit more now. I appreciate what we've been through. Let's learn from this so it doesn't happen again. Maybe that's what happened. Maybe Sean Payton threw a big right, too. Maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe they had it out. Maybe they got in an octagon with Jay Glazer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they were doing that shoulder thing that Jay does.
Playing Johnson.
Yeah, the warm-up thing.
I just assumed he showed him a video of James Winston throwing the ball 95 yards and said, you don't want to play with this? You see this guy? He got LASIK. We're going to win every single game that we play in this year. Get your ass to camp right now.
Hey, Jameis is throwing the ball 95 yards?
Absolutely not. He said that they had the best running back condoms in the league. And then he corrected himself and said tandems.
All right. Combo.
Not me. Jameis.
Combo, tandems. You can see how.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
That's going to happen. But once again, it seems like those types of things do happen much more often for Jameis than anybody else.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And Jameis is now at this point has to be one of the most mentally tough humans of all time for all
Without
the things he has put himself into and through in the reaction that has been seen on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
That might be a weapon, but Taysom Hill, Stormin' Mormon, he's balling as well. Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday,
Go,
Jay.
Thank you.
Hey, another trip around the sun, Jay, completed. Fucking good for you, pal.
One more.
Good luck on this next one. It's going to be a big one, by the way. This is a huge one for you.
Big one,
A little
Jay.
bit going on.
All right, man. Good luck with this year, dude.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, man.
Happy birthday,
Thank you.
Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Congrats on surviving,
Thank you.
living,
What?
breathing,
What?
working,
What?
eating,
What?
sleeping.
What?
And you're getting married here soon. That's pretty cool, man. Let's have a weekend. I'm going to celebrate the hell out of you. Happy birthday. I appreciate you. We're back
Thank
in
you.
4 minutes here at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show and SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio. I think I've realized this year with the conversations, you do seem to be a rather normal human, which is very interesting, right? I assume for a lot of people to hear. AJ said, no, you are not a normal human. But because all the stories about you before this year, to be honest, a lot of people, the way they believed is you were the smug king almost is what the thing about it. And then getting a chance to chat with you, it's like, well, that's not the case at all. How is that like something you have to focus on? I assume it gets hard whenever you're hanging out with, you know, Scott Stapp is hanging Aaron Rodgers jerseys up in his goddamn office. That has to be pretty weird.
Well, look, I think that's an interesting thing to talk about. I think a lot of times, people have said things about me, and it's been the same few people, and that's been kind of the prevailing story or thing that's reflected on. I think for me, I talked a lot about the work I did on myself. It was nice, and it wasn't intentional. Like, I didn't sign the show to have, like, and you guys know, we've talked about this off air, but there wasn't like some agenda doing this. It was like, fucking talk to Pat and AJ every week. Yeah, sounds pretty awesome.
It has been, by the way.
It sounds amazing. But what it's allowed me to do is, I think, silence all the douchebags out there who were, talking for me and making themselves more relevant by using my name or running with stories that were not really based in any type of fact. And look, I've grown as a person. I've said things and done things that I wish I'd handled a little better. But this was a great, natural, authentic, like, whatever, whether it was 15 minutes at the stadium or 45 minutes, to just, like, bullshit and have a conversation. If you're a friend of mine, if you know me, I think this is about as normal as interaction you're going to see from me. It's not a lot of BS. You're not going to hear cliches and garbage. I'm going to, shoot from the hip mostly. Tell you as much as I feel comfortable telling. I feel like I've been as honest as I could be. I've told you guys a lot of fun stuff. It's fun for me because then I don't have to, like, maybe rehash it on a Wednesday, or people get to see a different side of you that maybe they didn't even know was there or didn't think was there. And it's been fun for me. I really have. I've appreciated every single week we've done these. And like I said, the best part is there was no agenda. There was no plan. I mean, even us, like, we didn't know we were going to go like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or an hour. Like, we just started fucking talking, right? And then this came out, and it's been a lot of fun.
I actually would have made more money the day I signed
Then my whole contract with Indy.
Oh, dude. Why did you decide to turn down a lot of money to come back to Indianapolis for the year?
True story, no bull. I prayed about it. By 3 o'clock, I'm signing somewhere. And then 2:55, I got on the phone with Chris. Like, are we going to get this done? Like, how can we get this done? He came up with a number, and I'm like, all right, it's all right. Well, I guess it's meant for me to go to this next team. As soon as I closed his message, Ursay texted me. I said, there go my sign right there. When he texted me, that's when we got it done. When he texted me, we got it done. Hey, did you see my eyes tweet yesterday?
Yeah, is that when you got the text from Ursay?
No, that was a text that I was almost gone.
Yeah, where are we going to go?
Hey.
Baltimore. You don't have to tell us, obviously, but I do believe Baltimore was in on something. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then also the quarterback.
That's what it was. That's what it was.
Welcome back to the show. I have no idea if we're live on Sirius right now or not. I guess there's a box glitch issue happening.
Big glitch.
Oh, boy.
There's a big glitch happening. Yeah, I'll tell you what, big glitch is quite a problem out there. You know, Big Mo gets on your side, momentum, good news. Big glitch gets against you, big problems.
Look out.
Zito, I sent you his number. Let's give him a call here. I cannot wait to chat with Olympic gold medals Gable, Dahn, Steveson.
Here we go.
Steveson.
Not Stevenson.
No, have a little respect, please.
No, please. That is all on me. I must have seen it and misread it. You know, Freudian slip, you just see a letter pop in there somehow.
Stevenson does sound to be like, by the way, I think a lot of people on the internet were calling him Stevenson. Stevenson. I think your phone will even change to Stevenson.
Exactly.
But it's a legend in the making, a guy who's going to be able to do whatever the hell he wants in the future, a guy who has already tweeted Dana White and Vince McMahon. Won the Olympic gold medal in buzzer-beating, incredible fashion. Ladies and gentlemen, from the University of Minnesota, Gable Dahn Steveson. What's up, man? Woo! How are you? Hold on, I don't think I could hear you. It's probably our fault, not yours. Is there a phone ringing in the back there?
Can you hear me or no?
Oh, yeah, you sound amazing, Gable.
What's up?
Hey, how was Tokyo, dude? Pretty good?
Tokyo was good, you know. Gold medal, can't complain.
Hey, whenever you go over, this was your first Olympics. Have you dominated everywhere? Is this just something that we didn't know about out here? You see the name Gable, obviously. Then we had heard about you at Minnesota because of the round-off backflip that you did at such a big... Then you go into the Olympics and you dominate everybody. Then you get an Olympic. Has it been like this forever? Have you just been the most dominant wrestler in the history of wrestling?
I probably wouldn't say that. You know, I think I've did a good job since this point. But I think most definitely a lot of people haven't heard about me until the Olympic Games happened and I made that, like, stunning final finish. But, I mean, shit, I don't know.
Well, the 6.5 seconds left in the Olympic gold medal match. Is it match? Wrestling match?
Yes, wrestling match.
Yeah, not a game. Come on, have a little fucking respect.
That's on me.
Me too, by the way. So,
fix that.
6.5 seconds left in the gold medal match. And you're down 2 or whatever, you just done something amazing to get, or you're down 1 and you get to that point. Did you, and I watched your dad, I think, in your family watch, and it seemed like your dad didn't have any panic either going into that. In your mind, have you done this before? Is this a normal thing, like a buzzer beating, like, takedown at the end? Because for me, I was at home watching, zero connection to you, and I'm just watching this thing. We haven't met yet. I'm happy to meet you now. I'm honored to meet you now. But I'm watching that, and with 6.5 seconds left, I'm like, golly, so close, our guy. Like, we have our, and then you do. I jumped up out of my bed. I was like, let's go, dude. Like, in your mind, with 6.5 seconds left, you just say, you think to yourself, I got to get him down however possible here? Or is that something you prepare for? Is that a situation you're used to? Like, going in there, can you take me through that?
Most definitely not used to that position because I'm really not even there in a lot of matches. But I mean, probably in that last 6 seconds, I mean, I went all the way to Tokyo for 3 weeks to not come back with a silver medal. You know what I'm saying? I came back. I'm trying to come back with a gold medal. So in the last 6 seconds, I was just like locked in. If you saw my face in the match, like no stress, no nothing. So I just went out there like I'm ready to get my ass whooped. So I gotta score 3 points to bounce back and win this gold medal. And somehow I did it. And you know, it's just what happened.
It was awesome. And I think that was the first time any of us had seen you maybe look like maybe the guy was even in your level, you know, because it was it wasn't easy. I assume you were very tired, but you 10-run that son of a bitch in like 2 minutes early, and I was like, oh, yeah, this is awesome. I didn't even know this was possible. What is that, a technical, whatever, 10 running somebody. You dominated, and you just won all the way through doing that. And then seeing you have to battle a little bit of adversity there, I think as a fan, made me dialed in even more so. When you were wrestling in college, and you're a national champion, I believe, right? Yeah, numerous times. Or one?
Just one time. We got canceled last year, so one time.
Oh, it was COVID. Dude.
Would have been 2 times.
Would have been 2 times, but just one time right now.
Okay, are you back in school?
Not yet. We start in September, but I'm debating if I want to come back and wrestle. You know, WWE, MMA, play football. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? The doors are open.
Okay, so let's talk about your future then. You have an Olympic gold medal. You have a national championship. You could potentially go back to school and just get another one because COVID took away your resume that everybody else got a chance to go for that is at your level of wrestling. I saw you tweet Dana White. I saw you tweet Vince. I just heard you say football there. Have you done any mixed martial arts? Has Vince reached out to you? And have you ever played football before? You seem to be explosive. You could probably figure it out.
We'll start with Dana. I mean, Dana gave us congratulations on Instagram DM, and so I mean, I'm assuming he's gonna holler and say what's up eventually. But Vince McMahon, I have not met Vince McMahon personally. Triple H has always been the one I've talked to, and you guys know Paul Heyman, Brock Lesnar, I know Ric Flair, and a few others. So always the one that has hit me up. And NFL, I mean, the Vikings gave me a little tweet. You know, Brock Lesnar played at the Vikings, so I mean, why wouldn't they give me a shot? You know what I'm saying? It's just it repeats. You know, greatness comes and goes. So, I actually I went to go for football practice with Coach PJ Fleck, and he told me strap the pads up and let's go. You know, we're gonna row the boat till we die. You feel me? And I was there. Buffalo Bills. I guess Scout was there. He said, "Hey," and he told me how I knew the head coach of the Bills loved wrestling because he likes the determination, the heart it takes. And there's some guy that I know that has there's the Detroit Lions reached out to him about me.
Hey, wow. Congrats to you, dude. Seems like the world is kind of your oyster right now. In your mind, what are you going to focus on? You think, are you leaning anyway? Are you kind of seeing what the right move would be, see who's actually interested so you don't waste your time? Or are you young enough at this point, you could probably give it a go at multitude of things?
Oh, I'm gonna weigh out all my options. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the best options, best for me. You know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to live a comfortable lifestyle. I'm trying to keep my feet up and do my work. So whoever's gonna put the best on the table for Gable is who's gonna get Gable at his best. So that's all I can do.
Hey, I love Gable, dude. I'm a big fan of Gable. Have you been wrestling your whole life? Did you play any other sports?
I mean, funny story. I ran cross country my 6th and 7th grade year. I would come in last like every single race though. I was running 1.2s in like 13 minutes. So that, I mean, normally people run a mile in like 6, so I was like 7 minutes late. So yeah. I mean, I was just this big dude. I mean, thick all around, just huffing and puffing, trying to get up the hill, trying to get to the finish line. So that was kind of embarrassing. But I mean, I did it for wrestling. I did it for fun, and that was cool. And hey, if he's here, just shout out to Coach Hart, man. He did. Shout out to him.
Hey, shout out to Coach Hart for sure, Gable. And whenever I think about you just talked about it there. You did cross country for wrestling. Going back through high school, I played football, soccer, volleyball, but it was friends with everybody, you know. And watching what the wrestlers went through, it was just the commitment to beating the shit out of yourself so that you can either make weight or be in shape well enough, because you can get God out there. You don't play wrestling. You can get God out there. So the commitment to the craft is something. And then just a couple years ago, weren't they trying to abolish it or get rid of it, basically? You, by the way, might be a massive part of wrestling still going in America for the future, because you becoming this lightning rod. What is wrestling? It's a tough road. You just fell in love with it, or how did you get into it?
Oh man, I mean, first of all, my name's Gable, so I gotta wrestle somehow because Dan Gable won the 1972 Olympics, and here I am, Gable Dan. I won the 2021 Tokyo Olympic Games. So I mean, wrestling has always been in my family. Wrestling's in my blood. You know how I look at wrestling, it's like it's like do or die. It's like life. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. When I go out on the mat, it's either me or you. I'm not trying to die that day. He's got to go. So I mean, that's just you gotta have out every time you go out on the mat, and wrestling's been in my blood. I mean, I love the action that comes with it. I love going out there and putting on a show for the people, and I love going head to head with somebody and breaking their feelings and just you know.
Because you have a personality. I think there's a lot of robots potentially in the wrestling world, or meatheads or hardo or anything like that. Do you talk during the match, or are you normally quiet out there?
Oh, there's a lot of times I talk. You know, I just say a couple of things, get in his head, and just go take them down again.
You like whisper in their ear, like, hey, that cauliflower ear ain't gonna do shit for you right now. Is that what you do? Like, what happens?
There's some worse things probably said, but
you're just.
I try not to cuss. Oh, yeah. I mean, in my Big Ten Finals match, I told him he had no chance.
That's hilarious.
And he was like, sport.
Hey, yeah, you're pretty fucked here, bub. That has to be a pretty good feeling. Have you ever? Was the Georgia guy that you wrestled there in the finals, I believe? Is that right? The guy was from Georgia. Yeah. Yes. Have you wrestled any of these guys before? Did you get the chance to see film on them? And then is it not until you like finally get your hands, you're like, oh, okay, this is what I'm dealing with here today? Is there a feel out process in this whole thing?
Oh yeah, most definitely there's a feel out. I feel like the first 20 to 30 seconds of a match is always like a feel out, unless you know the opponent. So guys like those guys, I've never wrestled in my life. They're all like 30 years old. I just went out there, and I don't really like watching film. I feel like film like messes up my game plan, and so my coaches were watching, and they just told me what to watch out for. And yeah, like I said, just feeling those guys out and having that game plan is most definitely something that you need.
Have you always been faster than all the other heavyweights? It feels like that is a massive advantage for you. You just give a little swoop, get to their back, whoop, you're down, see you later, there's two, it's over. That's what you did the first one when you 10-run the person. It seemed like it was the same move every single time, and there was nothing that person could do. And by the way, I think that was the same move you did with 6.5 seconds left, right? You kind of get their waist, get their back, and then you do that. Is that your specialty? Is that like a Gable Steveson specialty? And is that because you're faster than everybody?
Most definitely is my specialty. I mean, I practice that move all the time. Just snap down, go behind is so basic. You know, a lot of people think you need some high end move to win a big tournament. I think I proved right there that all the kids that are watching, they're gonna see that I just did a snap down, go behind, and that your coaches teach you that when you're like 2 years old, 3 years old, and I did an Olympic final. So you guys, coaches, go tell your kids to go do that move.
I thought we were losing. Okay, I thought we lost. And then all of a sudden that ref fires his hand. If that ref doesn't get his hand up with, 0.2 seconds left or whatever, does that still count? Can that go to review? Can that go to challenge? And when did you, as soon as you see that hand go up, do you look at the clock and know, like, oh my God, I just did it? Or did you know, like, self-aware enough, okay, that was within 6 seconds? Like, when did you know, like, holy shit, I just stole basically this guy's gold medal right from underneath him?
Right when I went behind them, I looked at the clock and there was like 0.2 seconds left, and I threw up my 2, and I looked at the ref next, and he threw up his 2, and there's like a sign in the video like that has like the 2 that pops up on the blue, and I just got up and I was like, oh my fucking God, and like ran over to the coach and I jumped on him, and it was like geez, I stole, and I didn't really steal an Olympic gold, but like he had it in his hands and he gave it up to me, and I just took it from him, and it's crazy.
Well, stealing has a negative connotation as if you didn't deserve it or earn it. But I would assume whenever that thing gets started back at 6.5 seconds, that Georgia guy who speaks, I don't know what language, the conversation that's happening in his head in his language is, I'm a fucking gold medalist. Right? Yeah. This is awesome. Because normally, wouldn't he just try to delay there a little bit, just a little stall for 6.5 seconds? And I mean, it just...
He could have started out, but he's got to think. He had to think about. He had to engage, because if I would have pushed him out, I would have won the match too.
Oh, so you had numerous strategies there.
Yeah, if I pushed him out, I won the match, and if I circled behind him, I won the match too. So he had to engage, or they could have gave him like a caution and won. You know, there's so much that goes into it.
Yeah, I didn't know any of the rules. I realized while I was watching. It was very. I knew you were doing well in a lot of the things, but I didn't know exactly how or why you were doing well. I saw the points flying, that whole thing. Did you get a chance to interact with any other sports athletes? For instance, American Taekwondo, 18 years old, Anastasia Zolotic. Did you get a chance to conversate with any of the other kind of like martial arts community?
No, so we were with our own team the whole time. So we started out a place like 3 hours away. We were quarantined and stuff like that, and then we moved to Tokyo, and then we were in a hotel. So we really couldn't go nowhere. It was just us. We didn't see no other athletes. The only other athletes we saw were the women's wrestlers in Greco-Roman and our men's freestyle. So that was it.
So you're literally just living that quarantine life over there in Japan.
3 weeks straight.
Did you sleep on cardboard box beds like everybody else?
Yeah, it was bad.
Damn.
Man, heavyweight even had to sleep on the cardboard box bed over there?
Crazy how they treat the biggest, fluffiest dude out there. You know what I'm saying? We should have got a 5-star bed, something like that. Come on.
It's the Olympics. It's the Olympics. I mean, COVID, I guess. Congrats on doing that, even while sleeping on cardboard boxes, winning a gold medal. Go ahead, Ty.
Gable, when it comes to like the UFC or MMA, like, have you done any training or anything like that with that? Because I assume like no one's fucking with you. So like, do you know like what you have in your hands or anything? Obviously, you're a very accomplished wrestler, but like, have you like practiced like boxing and kickboxing and like any of that kind of stuff?
Most definitely. I've actually been putting on the gloves lately, to be honest. I've been rolling jiu-jitsu a lot. So, I mean, I got the striking just a little bit down. Most definitely need to get a good learning curve, just like wrestling. I mean, it takes a while to get the hands ready. So, I mean, most definitely I'm working on my hands and I'm working on that my ground game. I feel like my wrestling's okay.
Pretty good. Yeah. Good game. You couldn't even keep a straight face there. Gable cracked up Gable right there. I mean, that was you cracked me up as well. The thought of getting into the UFC, though, before the UFC was a thing and before mixed martial arts was a thing, and I think before it really blew up, this is what I would say to my wrestling friends. It's like, I appreciate the sacrifice you guys are doing. Like, I appreciate the amount of work and what you guys do. And by the way, if we go to a bar and get into something, like, I'm very thankful you guys are with us, okay? The cauliflower here automatically makes us look like a much more intimidating group. And if we get into something, you're going to be able to handle it. I'm very thankful. But there was never that professional, right? It never, and then WWE with Kurt Angle and others, it kind of became the route. But then the amateur wrestling community, the wrestling community hated the professional wrestling community. Now it seems like there's a lot more of a, like, and that's, I don't want to say like a pipeline, but it seems like if you're a good amateur wrestler, at least now there's places where you can go make some money in your sport, right? That has to be good news.
Almost definitely. That's very good news, to be honest. I mean, Kurt Angle and guys like Kurt Angle and Brock Lesnar really started that out. I mean, Kurt Angle won the gold medal with a broken freaking neck, went over there to the WWE and became a legend, a superstar. Now Kurt Angle's name rings bells everywhere he goes. I mean, Brock Lesnar won the national title. Now he's a legend in WWE and UFC. So those guys right there have opened a pipeline for guys like me that are gonna make a decision here on whether I want to go UFC, MMA, or go play ball somewhere. You know, it's opened a big door for Vince McMahon to see me, Dana White, and anyone else that wants to come talk.
Yeah, Paul Heyman, massive brain, by the way. So when I saw you with a picture of Paul Heyman, I was like, okay, awesome. I am also a massive fan of Paul Heyman and have the utmost respect for him. But I think Paul Heyman potentially, Minnesota pipeline with Brock as well. But I think whenever he saw you do that round-off backflip, Paul Heyman was like, oh, there's a sold-out stadium somewhere. I think there is potentially that. You have all the athletic ability to do everything, man. It was so fun to watch. I'm happy that you did that for the sport of wrestling this past week. Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Gable, you mentioned there's so much that goes into it at the end of the match where you can push a guy out, you can go for the takedown. Do you guys go over that, you and your coaches, or is that something that you just kind of aren't prepared for and he's yelling at you like, hey, you got 6 seconds, you got to get something done?
In the practice room, we go over stuff like that. We go over like 30 seconds left in the match. We go over like 10 seconds, the guy's up by 1 or you're up by 1 or it's tied by criteria. So like we know how to get through those positions. But realistically, like in that type of match, like Olympic gold medal match, like that 6 seconds is like is straight heart and just determination. Like you can't teach heart and determination. You know what I'm saying? Like you can teach guys that come back from 3 points in 45 seconds, but you can't teach heart. Like, so that 6 seconds was strategic, but it was just straight. Like I wanted it more than he did.
God, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Let's go, dude. maybe just want to run through a wall there, and especially hearing that you were living basically like an isolated bear in hibernation in cardboard boxes for 3 weeks in the middle of Japan. How is the food? Do you have, obviously, a heavyweight? You can weigh whatever? Like, is that, I'm sorry, you cut out there. Say what you said.
275 is the max.
So at 275, are you 275 right now or now 260 something?
About 265.
What do you wrestle at? What did you wrestle at?
My last weigh-in was 255. That's like the lightest I weighed in a long time. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't eating that much, so I was just locked in, to be honest.
Is it because the food was terrible over there? I've been in Japan. Food's terrible.
Our food was fine because they were cooking like American, like our style of food. So we had like a little lunchroom or whatever. Like, I don't know what's in the hotel where like a meeting room.
Conference.
Like conference room. We had that filled with like our type of food, and they would throw in like the Japanese culture and stuff. So we were eating good. I was just like so locked in and just like I wanted to win that I was just like barely touching anything.
So when you're on those cardboard boxes, were you playing video games or were you doing to pass the time over there? And what do you do now as a hobby? Are you a gamer? You work out all the time? What do you do?
Most definitely back at home. I finally got to touch my Xbox again, my Warzone. But when I was over there, me and my homie Aaron, we would just watch movies. Like we had like a schedule. We would wake up, go to practice, go watch wrestling, and then eat dinner, movie, repeat every day.
What movies? Any good movies get you to the Olympic gold medal that you could point at and say, hey, you know what? This character right here really carried me through a time where I was missing America. Was there any movie that got you there?
Probably, y'all know that movie Don't Breathe, like where the military dude's blind and
yeah, new one coming out.
Day before I wrestled, I was just locked in. Like the way he was coming about, the way the blind dude was like bouncing back from people slapping him and punching him, but he was also like a freak at the end of the movie, so I ain't rock with it.
But you drew some inspiration through some parts of the movie.
Like how locked in he was and determined to kill these people and how determined they were to get his money. So like I was like, me, I got to go get my money. So I was locked in.
The Olympic gold medal, where's it going to live? You could put it in a vault, a safe. Are you going to wear it every day? Would you wear this out and about? I would. I don't know.
No, I'm not wearing that out and about.
You wear it during Warzone? Do you stream? Do you have
that'd be awesome.
Do you stream with that thing on?
No, I don't stream, but there's I actually shouted out Tfue in like a video, and he followed me on Twitter, so that was kind of cool to see Tfue follow me on Twitter, and Nick Merckx too. I want to play with them, so I'm trying to get locked in with a couple people to play with. So that's, I'm trying to do what I can do.
Gable, shoot every fucking shot, pal. You did a lot for America. Everybody was a fan of what you did. We've all fallen in love with you and what you did for the sport of wrestling. You deserve everything. Shoot your shot. Go live your life. Can't wait to see the superstar you become, whether that's with the WWE, UFC, football, internet, continuing to dominate the wrestling world. We appreciate the hell out of you, pal. Thanks for all the hard work and sacrifice for that.
Yeah, thank you guys for everything, for sure.
No problem. Hey, I want to let you know, if you need to, I got heavy hands in the Oculus. If you're getting into the MMA world of UFC and you need anything in the Oculus and fake fighting, I'm undefeated. Just if you need anything.
You got my phone number. I'm going to call you probably tomorrow because I'm going to need you.
All right, this is what it is. It's a sternum shot, okay? And then as you go overhand right, pow! Just knock them out every time, Gable. Ladies and gentlemen, gold medalist, Gable Dahn Steveson. Thank you, Gable. Appreciate you, dude.
Thank you.
Hey, he's awesome.
Yeah.
Legend.
What a schedule.
By the way, you should shoot every shot right now.
Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, you have to. As an Olympian, you have to.
Right.
And I assume that he has people potentially working business for him, as he should, because right now we need him on a cereal box.
Yep.
Okay, we need him in commercials.
Right.
We need him. This is, as an Olympian, especially one as talented as him and the way he went about winning, you have to go now. Like, we need Gable to continue to rock. I'm thankful he's doing a lot of press. I'm thankful he came on the show. feel like I learned a lot there about the old world that he lives in.
Yeah, for sure. That'd be a tough choice, too, because obviously you're coming off the gold medal. He probably feels invincible, and like he definitely probably would fare well in the UFC, but that's also something where it's like you could get humbled very quickly. You know what I mean? Like
they would feed him.
No, yeah, definitely. But also like to what I asked him, like when do you think the last time he's ever had to like swing on someone? He probably never has. Like no one's ever fucking with that guy.
By the way, I didn't see a cauliflower ear on him.
No.
Good for him.
Yeah.
265 pounds doing round off backflips. Do you know how your knees have to be screaming for that?
Oh,
Just flies in the air. Dude's awesome to watch.
NFL too. Get him in the NFL.
Yeah, his feet have to be incredible. He could probably be a DN, D tackle if he had to.
Bring
the
the
power he has
Guard.
too. Get him in there. Bring him to the Colts, Chris. Hey, Chris! He hasn't answered my text in a long time, by the way.
He's got a lot going on.
How does he? We're back, by the way, and we'll talk about that in an hour, too. We also have Carli Lloyd joining us in about 10 minutes. The Olympic gold medal conversations continue in 6 minutes right here on SiriusXM and YouTube. We'll see you then. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Is there anybody out there? Anybody hear me? How does it sound? Can Sirius hear me?
What?
On this microphone. Seems like we're back.
Hey!
We gotta go. Bong to All right, see you guys in 5 minutes.
Late in the game, had a, they wouldn't show up because I play for the Packers, but I had a pretty sweet no-looker to Devontae on the last drive that I'd kind of set up for a few plays because Darius is so athletic side to side. He loves reading your eyes, and I just kind of came back and looked left and then looked outside him on the right and threw it behind him to
Go get him. Hey, I'm so thankful Patrick Mahomes brought that into the NFL.
I know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good for him.
Yeah, I know. Since none of us been doing it for a while. I will say this. A guy who probably doesn't get anywhere near the credit.
Brett.
We're doing shit like that all the time. He wears number 9 and plays in Detroit. Okay, that dude, what he does with the ball, it's impressive. It's really, really impressive. And I know Dan Orlovsky will highlight some stuff from time to time, sure, because they played together and they're good friends, which he should. But that dude's throwing crazy no-lookers all the time. And he can throw from any arm angle. I don't think he gets. Maybe it's Detroit. Maybe it's based on they haven't.
They just got lost 20-0 to the Panthers. They just lost 20-0 to the Panthers. I mean, that's.
I know. But he, they had some guys out, Pat. Let's take it.
Today's event is me versus a Carolina Reaper pepper. A pepper that has what?
2.2 million Scoville on average. I think it's pretty much the hottest pepper in the world.
In comparison, a jalapeno is
6,000 Scoville.
For every second after it is in my mouth, I don't grab this milk. We'll give $25 to a random person in the comments section right now. $4,500 feels like a good amount to give away, though. And that'd be 3 minutes. This is going to be a long 3 minutes.
That's redder than devil's dick. That crunch. How we doing so far? Doesn't look too bad.
I should have taken a drink of water beforehand, though, because I think I had a dry mouth. I had a little cotton mouth.
Oh, okay. Once the hiccups start, I think you're just about done for. What's your biggest regret in life? Do you have 2 more minutes in you?
I think it's just starting to hit like the peak. The curve on this thing is just starting to go up.
You are handling this much better than Bill did, though. You are, yeah. Billy Tubes was puking 10 seconds in. 130. 130.
It's burning my esophagus.
Do you feel like you're going to puke? God, that milk looks ice cold, too.
No!
It broke my heart. Hey, one more. Yep. Now we go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dance with me.
How you feel now?
A little bit better, but not great. Oh, God. That's a bad idea. I need more.
More milk.
Oh, God, God. Yikes. How are ya? I'm Roman, a men's health brand that can dance very well and make you the best you possible. Are you suffering from male pattern baldness? We got something for that. Herpes. See ya. Premature ejaculation, gone. No more coming too quick. Allergies as well. And that's not all. We have clinically tested supplements for everything, including erectile dysfunction. Come on. Bye-bye. GetRoman.com/Pat. Be the best you possible.
Y se frena, la verdad que no eres así, También dice que como puede ir, se revela, baila con frenesí, También dice que como puede ir, como bien, la verdad que no eres así, También dice que como puede ir, se revela, baila con frenesí, Te conozco y te lo digo, dale, ya no soy tu enemigo, dale, quiero ver cómo tú eres.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. Hour 2 on this Thursday, August 12th, 2021, years after zero. We'll begin immediately following this beat drop from Twine. There it is. Here we go. The Hammer Down boys have joined us in studio. I'll tell you what, has the heater continued, Gumpy?
5-2 yesterday.
Oh! This guy who gives out picks publicly, Monday through Friday, for free, every single day, 15 minutes after this show ends at youtube.com/HammerDahn, has been on a heater that you're not supposed to be on whenever you're giving out picks publicly. When you start giving out picks publicly, normally the gambling gods say, oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, is that right? That's what the gambling... Oh, is that right? That's what the gambling gods say. Somehow, our Canadian ship painting friend has debunked that entire gambling god thing. He has been on a heater that has been unforeseen. I have no idea how you're doing it, pal, but I want to let you know. Thank you, Gump.
Thank you, Gump.
What
Thank you, boys.
What are we betting on today? What are we betting
More
on today?
baseball. We're just hammering baseball. Probably take the Steelers tonight in the preseason, too.
Steelers, Eagles tonight at Tone Diggs, also host of Hammer Dahn, which goes 15 minutes after this show ends. How'd you do last night, Diggs? Are we back on the heater? It's been even Steven.
I've decided I'm done betting baseball, Pat.
Oh, bad night for the Cowboys. Bad night for the Cowboys.
Favorites are 78% in the last 2 weeks. I bet puppies, okay? I roll with the dogs in the mud. I don't want to bet favorites. I don't want to be out here fucking, oh, this is easy. We're betting favorites.
Is there beef amongst the Hammer Down boys?
No, he's not betting. He's not betting favorites.
What's he betting? First 5.
Just betting winners.
Never heard of it. So, Diggs, I don't want you to lose, any of your confidence as well.
You know I never have confidence, Pat.
True, but at least sometimes you at least feel good about yourself. And I don't want you to think because you are not going 5-2, 5-2, 12-0, 13-1. Just because you're not doing that, you need to remember that what you do with your brain gambling wise, also incredible. You're just sitting next to fucking Babe Ruth. You're sitting right next to Aaron Rodgers. You're sitting right next to our next guest on this show, basically.
Ooh.
Wow. A GOAT, a great, joining us from his attic in Ohio, maybe with some internet. Not who I was referring to in the last sentence, but I guess it could also go for him, ladies and gentlemen. AJ Hawk, we're joining us. Hey, how's the internet?
Yeah, who knows, man? You never know minute by minute here what's going to happen.
I want to let you know, you did not send me a text telling me that your internet was back operating. This is quite a surprise. I thought we were without the Hawk for at least 3 to 4 days because the internet in Ohio is terrible.
Brutal.
But it's great to have you back. Thank you. Joining us now is somebody who could be compared to what Gumpy has been doing for the last 3 months, going basically undefeated as a gambler publicly. Some are calling him the GOAT already.
Yeah.
A GOAT already, and has been defined Olympic gold medalist. A name synonymous with our best team over the last, 10 to 15 years.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, U.S. Women's National Team member, captain, and record holder, Carli Lloyd. Yay! Hey, what's up?
How's it going?
You know, it's a lot better now, Carli. Having a little greatness amongst us is good. You know, this show, his internet's terrible over there in Ohio. He wasn't even able to be a part of the show yesterday because it cut out. The boys in here, we're a bunch of idiots. Having greatness with us is great news. So thank you, Carli.
I'm honored. Awesome.
How was Tokyo? How was it? Obviously not the outcome we wanted, but anytime you get out there and break some records in history books, that has to be at least a little bit of a positive, right?
It was good. Obviously, we went there to win gold. We didn't accomplish that goal, but we came home with some hardware, just a little bit of a different color, bronze medal. So it was good. You know, it was a really tough and challenging trip. I'd be lying to say it was an amazing trip because with COVID and all the protocols, it honestly was not anywhere near an Olympic experience, but very grateful that they were able to hold the games and we were able to compete.
Okay, so let's talk. You guys are basically our only sure thing whenever it comes to like, hey, our United States women's national team soccer, they are we got the win. We got the team that's better than everybody through the COVID year. And is it almost like, you know, it feels like it comes in generations too. Mia, Brandy, and then kind of now this generation has had so much success. Do you look at the team from, you know, the run that you guys have been on that has been incredible? And then is there a younger generation that's about to pick up the baton and continue to run this thing, you think, Carli?
You know, I can't speak for everyone else, but yeah, I mean, if you want to look at some of us, our ages, we can't play forever, unfortunately. So it's going to be very interesting to see the next cycle, the next wave of players. But that always happens. You know, a generation comes in and generation leaves. So I think that we're closer to perhaps a generational shift with some players, you know, leaving within the next several years. And that's just the way it goes. So we're going to have to just continue to pass the baton and hope that this next generation continues the winning spirit.
Have you noticed anything of those, like these younger generations coming up as you've been around for a while and you're a veteran? Like, is it different now coming into soccer than it was when I guess you broke in, really?
It definitely was, yeah. I think just the world we live in now, there's a huge generational shift. I think, you know, the culture's a little bit different, the work ethic, the mentality's a little bit different. But I would say with, you know, the players coming in with the national team, they have the mentality, they have the fight and the grit. We just have to make sure that we continuously bring that because that's what's made this team so successful over the years. I've said it before. I think I said it in some of my interviews. You know, talent alone doesn't get you to the top, and talent alone doesn't win you championships. So you need to have the talent, but you also need to have a mentality and a fighting mentality to bring that with it.
Hey, your competitive edge is awesome. Is it in everything? Is it like, hey, we're throwing a bottle into a trash can? You know, because I don't know much about the women's national team, or I know a lot about our world, and our most competitive people are our most successful people. And whatever you're talking about your team, you guys have won so much so often. I assume it carries into everyday life. Are you competing in absolutely everything in your life, Carli?
I am a hardcore competitor, yes. Especially, you know, when I'm going at my husband, whether it's axe throwing, whether it's mini golf, we are ultra competitive, but that's just how I roll. I've always been like that.
Yeah, you have a championship mindset, which is why I thought, you know, you were potentially going to be the first woman to ever kick a football in the NFL, because in between the years, You have this mindset that is unshakable. And then I watched you hit a kickoff off the ground with Sam Cook. You murdered that ball. I mean, it was absolutely slaughtered. Did you stick with that? When was the last time you kicked a football? I was excited for that. I was super pumped. We got an Olympic legend coming in and kicking and representing for the brand, and then that kind of dissipated a little bit. I guess soccer, got a little bit more important. But are we going to kick? Are we going to give in to kicking again, or what's going on?
I'm not sure. My day job kind of got in the way of that. So the last time I kicked was at that Eagles training session, which was probably a couple of years ago, I guess.
I mean, you murdered that ball, Carli. Full leg lock, too. I mean, not every soccer player can kick a football. That's what I think a lot of people get confused on. They're like, you know what? If a soccer player just goes and kicks, they'll be able to kick in the NFL. It's like, that is not accurate at all. Your swing seems to have a natural transition in it. You murdered that thing, Carli. I mean, you took more steps than a normal field goal approach, obviously, but let's go. Hey, whenever you're ready, whenever the day job's done, I would like to offer up any potential inside information I can get from other people that are good for you to continue that dream, hopefully.
Yeah, it's somewhat similar. I mean, obviously, no pads, no helmet. I had quite a few steps there, but I've broken down my technique within the game of soccer so much, so I think that's why it's sort of easy for me to transition to kicking a field goal. It's a little bit different, but it's similar in some fashion.
So I have a friend since kindergarten who happens to be the CFO for this company. His name is CFO Phil. All right, he's numbers stooge. He has to run through all of the numbers. He has a beautiful family. His daughter Bella plays soccer, and obviously for little girls not only around this country but around the world, watching your team is massive inspiration and everything like that. If you had to speak to maybe you whenever you were young, trying to make it and break into the Olympics or the Olympic team or anything like that to get into the pools, what would you do? What would you say to a young girl that was trying to make it into the U.S. women's national team and maybe carry that baton for years and years to come?
Well, I think it's incredibly difficult. That's why there's a select few that make it to the top, and even a more select few that stay at the top for so long. So I think that the biggest thing that I would say is embrace who you are. Be authentic and be comfortable in your own skin, and don't compare yourself to others. Don't compete against anyone else. Just try to be the best version possible every single day. And my motto that I live by every day is better every day. There's opportunities that we can all be better every day in whatever aspect that may be, and you've got to work incredibly hard to get to that point. So that was with my career, head down, sleeves rolled up, and just got to work. I never imagined having a career that I've had, but with hard work and many other things, you're able to achieve any dreams you want.
I think your microphone cut out there at the end, but I think you said also, Bella, Uncle Pat's the coolest dude to ever exist. I think I heard that. I appreciate you doing that, Carli. Go ahead.
That's right.
I'm joking. Go ahead.
Carli, you said that it was a much different Olympic experience this time as compared to the past. Was there any ways that you guys kind of passed the time as a team together, or was it just kind of locked down for most of it?
Yeah, it was pretty locked down. I mean, we were on the road from our send-off games all the way to Tokyo, about 44 days. So it's a lot of time together. And, we would all just kind of hang out in our rooms, pass the time with movies, shows, books, podcasts. But, aside from training and other team meetings and stuff, that was the most exciting bit of the Olympic Games, unfortunately.
Does it ever become overwhelming? I mean, you guys, with everything that happened in the world becoming I think our show is a nice mental vacation for people because we're way too stupid to be giving them actual opinions on things that matter in the real world. We're just talking sports. But because you represent the United States and with everything that was going on in the world, did it ever become too much to be like, not only do you have to be great at soccer, not only do you have to continue to work and continue to get better every single day, but you guys were also becoming like like a big part of a political world that was happening out there. Was there ever a moment where it kind of got too much, or nothing that you expected, or hard to stay focused on just the soccer and what's going on in the pitch as opposed to everything else that you guys were kind of being, I don't want to say forced, but almost like pressured into becoming? Was that ever too much for you, Carli?
I think everybody's different. I try to live my life as simple as possible. First and foremost, my job is to be the best soccer player that I can be and to help my team win. Those have been my focus, and my focus for the 17 years I've been a part of this team. So, as I've learned throughout the course of my career, you have to block out so much noise. And every year that I've gone on with the national team, it's been different. Social media has obviously come into play a lot more over these last 5 or so years. But I've just tried to be positive. My social media is all about soccer. I love quotes, so I put quotes out. That's really the extent of it. So I tried to just clear my mind of everything else and focus on what I can control and what matters. And, that's no different what I did this past trip to Tokyo, just blocking out everything and making sure that I'm prepped and ready to go.
Do you have big plans for whenever you hang them up and you don't want to play soccer anymore? Whether that be, I think you could be a great TV commentator, I'm sure, talking about soccer, maybe an analyst for the games, coaching. I don't know. Like, what are your plans?
Movie star.
Yeah. I'm not really sure. I mean, I do clinics, like one-off clinics where, they're just in and out in 2 hours. I enjoy doing that. I would love to travel more and hit up more cities to be able to do these clinics. My schedule over the last several years is obviously been really tough. I'm not sure I want to do the commentary route. I think that it's a lot of preparation. It's not easy by any means. And I'm not sure that I want to travel and be having to do all that. But I enjoy speaking. So hopefully things start to kind of open back up again and be able to go to colleges, companies, corporations, and whatnot and speak about my story. And then, I'm not sure after that. Obviously, I want to start a family with my husband. I want to do things before starting a family, have some me time, because once you have kids, it's pretty much all over. That's what I heard. So that's what I have in mind right now.
That human that asked you that question has 7 kids right there.
No way.
Yeah, he does. He has 7 children out there. 4. It's absolutely, well, whatever the case. I mean, it seems like there's 7. They're flying around. I would love to have a Carli Lloyd clinic in Pittsburgh I don't know how we go about doing that, but that would be fantastic. Carli, thank you. We're talking to Carli Lloyd, obvious U.S. women's national team legend. Ty Schmidt, go ahead.
Carli, I think it was the last World Cup that you guys were in. An article came out that was like dubbing you guys the ugly Americans because you have beaten the hell out of teams for so many years. Like, is that palpable when you guys go to tournaments? Like, oh, everyone here hates us and we're getting their best shot. And do you guys feed off that?
I think, being a part of this team, we've always had a target on our backs. We've been the number 1 team for a really long time. We win. We always find a way to win, regardless of what it may look like. So that comes with the territory. But I think it's really important to have a mindset that we aren't the number 1 team in the world, because teams are catching up to us. Teams are pushing us to be even better, which is what we want to see within the women's game. I think you saw that this Olympics. Teams are fit, they're strong, they're sharp. Tactically, they're so much better. So long gone are the days where we just kind of roll up to a game and it's an automatic win.
That's good for the sport, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you want to see this. Look at Sweden. Canada, they came away with.
We hate Canada, Carli? Hey, we got a Canadian in here. We hate him, too.
Yeah. Canada stinks.
Canada stinks. The worst, dude.
Hate him.
We don't like Canada.
But it's really good. It's really good for the sport. So that's what we want.
Carli, you ever do this before? What?
Look at that.
What? Oh.
Very impressed.
Try your left.
The left foot ain't worth a damn. All right, that's why I kicked balls for a living with one leg. That's all I needed. Carli, incredible career thus far. Can't wait to see what you continue to do on the field and in life. We appreciate you so much for, allowing us to be a part of your life here on this beautiful Thursday.
Appreciate it. Great chatting with you guys, and all the best.
Did you say you guys were just listening to our podcast over there? I think I heard you say that the whole time. No. Yeah.
Who? No.
Yeah. No. Ladies and gentlemen, Carli Lloyd. Hey, she was cool, man. Yeah. That was awesome. Whenever she got pitched this show, there was no way in hell she thought, you know what, I should go do that show. I'm very thankful for her. She has most goals in U.S. women's national team history.
History, I believe. Yeah.
In Olympic history, probably, right?
Olympic.
She just beat what? She beat out old Abby Wambach.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Abby was a assassin on the field. Yeah. Ruud Van Nistelrooy of the women's game.
That's right.
Abby Wambach.
Uh-huh. Undefeated.
Hey, Bella was watching that, though. Phil said he's going to force Bella to watch it. She has school? They do school?
Yeah, what the hell?
I thought school
Hey, Bella,
started.
get your ass in fucking class.
It's summertime. If this do year-round school?
No, I thought school started early now because of the COVID.
Summertime. And class is easy. They're all Zoom calls and they get A's and B's. I don't even think it matters anymore. I'll FaceTime with Phil whenever they were in the middle of that quarantine thing. And in the background, Bella was probably in history class. I think the little Phil was in some other class. And then the youngest was just running around, I think, naked, just causing a complete chaos. There's no way actual grades happen. Are you worried about the schooling now? I mean, this is quite a diversion here. But did school even, like, if people were watching the Zoom calls, that's all they were really looking for, right?
It's brutal. It's really tough, for especially young kids. Like I had a second grader and a fourth grader, and when they had Zoom, like at the beginning of the COVID, back whenever it started, they had like 3 months of just Zoom. And yeah, they can't. You're going to pay attention for 6 hours on a Zoom when your teacher's talking, like it's impossible. Luckily, we've got them into a school where last year they went to class and we're actually there.
Yeah, God bless them too for that. And all right, AJ.
What?
The school you guys got them in, they're learning about Noah out there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's
heavy.
Oh, so it's very serious by the book.
Oh, yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
The book.
The sequel, though.
Uh-huh.
Oh. The sequel. It is actually the sequel, I believe, is the one that AJ's got his kids in. I don't want to give too much away, but I think everybody kind of understood that these are wooden pews. These things are not, these are not comfortable pews. You are not coming in here to have a good time. You are coming in here to thank the Lord for what you have here.
Thank you, Lord.
Get the hell out.
I'm happy I wasn't a parent through this entire thing, because I would honestly be telling my kid, or if I was, it's my duty, I guess, to look out for my child. And I don't know how Sam would feel about this, so this would be an entire conversation with her as well. But I'd rather have my kid watch Carli Lloyd just do interviews all day than go sit in a Zoom class where they're fake paying attention to something happening on a goddamn screen. It would have been tough for me to say, hey, you got to sit down and stare and listen to this person that went to school to tell you stuff. It would have been very, very difficult for me to do. So good on all you parents out there getting through.
Yeah.
Baby AJ.
Good job, parents.
Hey, there's a lot of rules coming out now with these stadiums, AJ, and it's great to see you. We didn't get a chance to chat with you yesterday. We'll talk about Hard Knocks and Big Mike being an absolute fucking star, a guy that you love. We'll do that in a little bit here to get your take on that. But the ticketing and mask mandates in these stadiums is getting very interesting. The Baltimore Ravens came out, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago and said, if you come to a game to watch us play here at M&T Bank, I believe, field or stadium, place is loud, does not get anywhere near the amount of credit it deserves for the atmosphere that they create down there. As part of the new protocols for Ravens games played at M&T Bank Stadium this season, all ticketed fans are required to wear an approved face covering at all times when in an indoor area of M&T Bank Stadium, regardless of vax status, unless actively eating or drinking per team. That came from Josina Anderson. Okay, so Baltimore says when you go up, take a leak or buy something or go in the concession area that's covered, got to have the mask on. If you're in suites, got to have the mask on. If you're out in the bowl, seems like you're going to be okay, don't have to wear the mask. Now, this has led to other places coming out with their own mandates, and maybe we're probably going to see more of this as we go. Buffalo is you got to wear a mask regardless. You go to a stadium in Orchard Park, you go up there, Buffalo Bills Bills Mafia, whatever you're doing in the parking lot, going through tables, throwing ketchup and mustard all over and doing whatever the hell you're doing, drinking all the Labatt's you could possibly drink. When you get in the stadium that is very much a bowl and wide open, have to wear a mask everywhere. Indianapolis, Lucas Oil Stadium, it is recommended but not required. This is going to be another step in the entire rollout post-COVID, or are we getting back into
regressing?
AJ, your thoughts on all these things that are being released here in the middle of preseason, and it's only going to become a bigger story as we go and get closer to the regular season kicking off?
Well, I mean, we knew. I feel like you felt this coming, that stuff like this was going to happen. But my question is: this on the owner, or is this on like the city, the local rules, the local protocols? Do we know what each stadium, like who's making these protocols?
Okay, so it's fascinating because here in Indianapolis, our mayor, he cared. Hogshead. He cared. Okay, that's Diggs' thoughts. All right, everybody has their own thoughts. He cared about humans more than anybody else. That's why he refused to open this place up.
That's right.
Other states that in cities that were maybe more locked down than anywhere else on earth opened back up. But here in Indianapolis, the mayor said, I need to see some more numbers. Okay, he cared about people more than anybody else cared about people. So bravo to him for caring about people.
Yeah. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you for thinking for me, Joe.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
But
can he count on your vote next election?
I think it's going to be tough for Joe to get back in. I think it's going to be tough for Joe. I think Joe knows that. I'm not in the political world, but I think just the feel of the city since, and I think a lot of local government, by the way, is going to be looked at through a magnifying glass a lot more than ever in the past. You go vote and you vote on the local thing, it's like, who gives a fuck? All right. Now I think a lot of people that are going in there are going, who's in there? Get them out. Whoever isn't in there, get them out. I think that is potentially going to happen. So not just Joe going to deal with this. I think the entire country is probably going to have to deal with the turnover of local leadership. If I had to guess, not 100% sure, not in the political world, that is just a hypothesis for the future if I had to guess. Joe is going to fall into that category, I do believe. But he was the only one that said nobody's allowed in our stadium, okay? 31 teams said you can fill up the stadium full, we'll be at full capacity. Mayor Joe Hogshead told the Colts, not yet, all right? So that went weeks and weeks and weeks, and then officially it was announced it will be filled, and now the mask mandate is not mandatory but recommended. So I don't know if it's the local authorities with the team ownership. I don't know. You assume that local authorities are running all of this because that's what it has been for the last 13 months or whatever. But I'm not 100% sure if it's teams taking control and making their own decisions or if it is also local authorities kind of weighing in on that whole thing.
Well, and it seems like when everything was rolling out, it was state by state, so you got to assume that they're talking to somebody. But do you think that eventually they're just going to require vaccination cards if you don't want to wear a mask, or they're just going to say mask or no mask?
So Buffalo Bills ownership, though, might be putting this in because they feel like they're doing – like even if the state doesn't have the rules or the local, maybe Buffalo Bills are like, we're doing our part. Like, you never know like how owners feel or how organizations might want to take a stand or do something like that. You never know. Like, honestly, you never know. So I don't think we can broad brush paint like the local authorities are making these decisions because I have no idea. But it's going to get. Because what if they have to start going down percentages of stadiums being filled? And what if that has to happen again because of Uncle Delta and Lambda? What? And Delta Tau? What? And Delta Plus? What? And Delta Tri Delta? What? And Alpha Phi Delta? What? And the Alpha Delta Betas? What? Those ones will get you. They spread through the eyeballs. Don't even fucking look at each other. The COVID Alpha Beta Delta does. But honestly, it feels like there's going to be more of this conversation in chat.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully, this is where they're starting. You would think the next step would be they're going to start reducing capacity and keeping people separated as much. We hope we don't get there, but if they can, obviously the rules, the protocols and everything could ramp up to where they could limit capacity, but hopefully we can also go the other way too, right? If something changes, though, they can take the mask off, they can not have as many restrictions, right?
There is a lot of people that are not happy about any of this, man. Isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, both sides. Both sides, people are pissed. The anti-vax people are pissed because oh, now we got to go back to the rules whenever we didn't even have it. You guys are doing your little thing. I didn't want to do it. If I die, I die. Let me do that. And then the people that got vaxxed were like, you motherfuckers, I did this, and now I'm going to have to go back into this because you're doing that. And this is a standoff. And it's not a political party affiliation standoff, by the way. And I think that is continuing to be confused. I know people in my timeline, and this is how I judge the real world, that are all the way on maybe the furthest left part of these wings, I guess that there are. Mm-hmm. And then there's some people that are cemented in the right that have popped up in my timeline. And both sides hate it, both sides like it. And that's why I don't know if there's ever going to be. Rogan, anytime old Rogan, who has, 20 million people listening to his shows, whenever Rogan, 10 million, that clip probably seen by 50 million people, whatever it is, whenever he comes out and goes like, hey, we're one step away from a dictatorship. That is like a great depiction of how one party feels. And then you can just turn on any news and be like, this is how, and by party, I mean, in this particular case, not political party, in the vax, non-vax party. And then the other, this is going to get ugly for a long time, and who knows how long it lasts. And I just hope there's fucking NFL football, dude.
Just got to sit down and watch Man 101 together.
That would help.
Sting did put out episode 2.
Yep.
Sting did put out episode 2 or 3.
He did. It was good. It wasn't quite as good as the first episode, but it was good.
No, the first episode was him putting together that pottery.
There are multiple characters.
Yeah, the planning. Yeah, no, that was you guys are talking about.
Was that the second episode?
The neon green relish.
Yeah, that is not Man. That's not 101.
Oh,
that's not Man 101.
That was Man 101, but that wasn't the first class.
Oh, because I did see him give a guy, blast a guy off a boat for one episode of Man 101 too.
Yeah, and there was another episode where he literally went to Lowe's, I think, and got 2x4s and built a thing to hold the shit that's under plants.
Oh, like a compost deal.
Boom, compost box.
Yeah.
That's what he built one of those. That was Man 101, and he even gave it at the end. So I think there's been numerous episodes. It does feel like he has potentially found a season here, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We are on season 3, I think, of this one.
Put them together, sell them to Netflix, and let's make this fucking thing go.
Let's get to a break.
Is the beer helmet in play?
What do you mean?
Well, if you have the beer helmet with 2 straws, you probably don't have to wear a mask if you're drinking the whole time.
So there was a chance that I potentially have to, in some places that may be traveling to do something where mask might be mandatory full time. Okay, this is in the future, not whatever, unless you're drinking or eating. So I just assumed I was just going to have a straw in my mouth at all times. But the beer helmet is.
Right.
Good idea.
That's the cheat code.
Uh-huh.
Quick solve. Everyone get very, very drunk at the games and then drive home.
COVID hates alcohol. All right. I was going to say COVID hates alcohol.
That's what the local government's doing, Pat.
It just stinks because we've been saying they announced full stadiums months ago, and the whole time you're mentally thinking, "Hey, we're gonna have full stadiums." And now that we're here, everything's going back.
Hey, not everything.
Not everything.
Not everything.
Hey. This show will stand on the side of, hey, they'll figure it out.
Is Ty wearing a costume today?
What do you mean?
It's not a costume. He's honoring the Field of Dreams game.
Yeah, what's your deal?
Oh, okay, cool. Then now I get it.
He had some shit kickers on earlier. He did take them off.
Yeah, they don't show up on camera, so I said, fuck it, I ain't gonna wear my shit kickers. I'll wait till I'm back in the field with those.
Hell yeah.
AJ, can't wait to talk to you about Hard Knocks after this break. The Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott, and the Dallas Cowboys say, hey, let's not panic, but I am getting an MRI. Seems like that is quite a call for panic, but I don't think so. I can't wait to hear AJ's thoughts. Mac Jones has a number before tonight's game against the Washington football team, and the Steelers take on the Eagles tonight. Yeah. There's a lot to celebrate. Let's go ahead and continue to do that. Your mental vacation continues in 4 minutes. Hit the 5-Hour Energy phone line, 1-833-4-McAfee. We'll talk to you then. Cheers. All right, so it's outclassed start match. Little humidity, bigger ring. Let's fucking go, huh? Almost lost the whole thing. Put him down. Nope. Now you go to sleep. 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 Woo! I'm really tired. These things keep freezing. Grow up. Woo! So you can't breathe out of your nose. It's just a lot of mouth breathing. I apologize. God. Woo! Woo!
Ladies and gentlemen, with the match ending in the first round, your winner by technical knockout.
Tell him.
The red corner.
Thank you. Come on. Oh, fuck off then, bud.
Hey, Tom.
Football.
You think the Steelers, Packers, Colts, Bears, Steelers, Colts, Dolphins, Colts, Broncos, Cowboys will be better than the Patriots this year?
Absolutely. Don't. They got broken foot.
No, not that.
Oh, yeah, Bertha.
I know they're both going to be better than the Lions.
Oh!
Without a doubt.
1 billion%.
Yeah, every single one of them.
There's so many layers to that question, I don't want to hear it.
Come on, give an answer. You got to give an answer.
The Colts are going to win more than 8.5 games, which is their current over-under. All right?
Hell yeah.
That's...
What do you think?
They are going to do better than the Patriots.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
All right, we'll see. We'll all see, won't we?
Your team stinks, dude.
Hey, Foxy, you think the Lions are going to be better than the Patriots this year?
Yes, I do.
Idiot!
Say football for me.
Football. Football. Football.
Football.
Football. Football. Football. Football. Football.
They play football. They play football. They play football. They play football. Welcome back to that show. 38 minutes in to hour 2 here. AJ Hawk will continue to join us from his attic in Ohio. The Hammer Down Boys also in studio. Can't thank you all enough for watching and listening wherever the hell you may be. AJ Hawk, your thoughts on Hard Knocks a couple of days ago. We'll make it quick because our logistics and statistics have told us that the Hard Knocks conversation not exactly overwhelmingly popular on the internet.
No.
Oh, shit. No, yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah.
But it is something to talk about in the middle of a downtime here. Your thoughts on Big Mike back in action in Dallas, AJ?
I mean, I think this year at least, HBO does a good job of what they do. They're highlighting Zeke, they highlight Dak a lot, Big Mike, Jerry. Like, you want to see the main guys, and they all seem to have good personalities. I mean, one of the takeaways I have a lot. I shouldn't say I ever had not enough faith in Dak, but I am even more excited about Dak if he is healthy, seeing how he carries himself, what kind of leader he is, like how he is in complete control, and his work ethic too, how he's pissed they're taking him out, all that stuff. I don't think any of that's faking it for the cameras either.
Okay, so let's talk about Dak. I had the similar opinion, by the way. I like hearing guys swear, personally. I like hearing guys that are humans. You know, like especially. And I like Hard Knocks, I think, because it is actually what my life was when I was in the NFL, basically. From the, just watching, seeing, kind of that whole thing. You miss out on a lot of things, but it's nice to get to know guys. There's another mic'd up that came out. Oh, yeah. Josh Allen was incredible on mic. I feel like when you get mic'd up, you learn a lot about people, and I normally come away loving them on the other side of that. Herbert was mic'd up.
Yeah, of course.
What'd you think?
It's awesome.
That seemed heavily edited. He didn't talk much in that entire thing. There was zero interactions with any of his teammates. Like, I wanted to see him with his teammates. Like, I wanted to see how people talk to you. Like, I think that was my favorite thing about Dak. It seems like his teammates love him. It seems like everybody that's big for me. Like, I want to see how the rest of the team feels about the quarterback. For instance, in the Herbert one, they edited out, it seemed like every interaction he had with anybody other than quarterbacks for whatever reason. And Herbert said earlier, hey, this is the last time this is going to happen, which I like a lot. But he picked up a bag of balls and walked.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you what, here in Indianapolis, the equipment managers, they see Justin Herbert pick up that ball bag. They are sprinting over, punching him in the face, maybe saying, don't you ever do what you were doing there. So I like the blue collarness of Justin Herbert, but I didn't get to see enough out of that mic'd up to know what it's like to be teammates with Justin Herbert. But I think that's what Hard Knocks does. It kind of gives you a look in, like, if you were on this team, what it would be like on a daily basis, and I think that's why I love it. The Dak Prescott situation, especially with you saying his hard work, wanting to go in there the way his teammates like him, it's gone to a whole nother level now with this entire strain thing happening, which Jay Glazer told us is under the arm here. Okay, it's a baseball thing.
Baseball injury.
It's if you were to draw, what muscle is this, AJ? I got a big one, obviously.
Your lat.
Yeah, okay, from the lat to above the nip is where Jay Glazer was describing where this thing was happening. So it normally happens in baseball. Dak Prescott has thrown some balls this week. He's been on a pitch count. It's been light. It's been short. Then he came out yesterday and said when they get back to Dallas, he will be getting an MRI on this thing. The Dallas Cowboys put out a tweet, said, this is not time to panic, but Dak Prescott is planning on getting another MRI. Do not worry, they said. Whoa. Do not worry, he's getting another MRI. I think this leads even more so into what Mike McCarthy said to Dak on the field after he got injured when he said, hey, don't you think it's about time to get in the gym and get some treatment? I mean, I appreciate you wanting to be out here, but at least we can know what we got. I think the MRI will just further explain to them exactly what's going on so they know, can he hurt it more? Is he just going to have to battle through some pain? Is there potential ligament or anything else going on? That was my big takeaway, although my initial reaction immediately upon somebody telling me not to worry or panic is, people are about to panic or worry from what they heard. I don't think that's the case here. I think this is Dak trying to find out exactly what's going on with himself, which is a smart move long haul.
Yeah, I mean, if he really wanted an MRI right now, he'd get another one in California. So he's waiting. I don't know why. Maybe it's to see if how the strain looks a week from now, or whenever you throw some light passes. I think him at least throwing light passes is a good sign. Like if they said, hey, we're going to get another MRI when we get back to Dallas, and he has thrown 0 balls, not even 20%, that would make me worry. The fact that he can actually throw a little bit, like, okay, hopefully it's something that he can get out there for week 1.
Yeah, and we still have a lot of time before week 1. How many days?
28 days, 4 weeks exactly from today.
Let's go. Yeah.
So long, though.
So long. We got Carson Wentz and Quentin Nelson getting their foot operated on and coming back 5 days later and walking around with no limp somehow. And I'm not saying that science and medical advances have gotten us to a point where everything can be figured out quickly, although it seems like the rest of the world has a lot of questions about how something got figured out so quickly. But if that continues to happen in the football world, with the recovery times being shorter and shorter, with the more we know about muscles and everything happening, I don't think this is that big of a deal. If it was a big deal, he wouldn't be throwing a goddamn thing. To your point, AJ Hawk. Let's also talk about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes, the $500 million quarterback of the Kansas City Chiefs, who signed a 10-year deal, has won an MVP, has won a Super Bowl, has won a Super Bowl MVP. He owns the Kansas City Royals. Now he's bringing 20 Whataburgers from Texas to Kansas City. He's a businessman. He's an entrepreneur, and also one of the greatest football players to ever play football. I love what the young Mahomes is doing. I love the business side of this whole thing. I assume he has people helping him in all of this. This is how you get mailbox money for the rest of your life while also receiving $500 million from one football franchise to be very good at something. I love Patrick Mahomes, and I continue to grow my admiration for this ketchup-loving son of a bitch every single day that passes.
I mean, he's awesome, and he's still so young. But I guess when I see this, so you said he's going to open 20 different Whataburgers in the area?
Yeah, he's probably bringing 20 franchises. Yeah. Just bringing 20 franchises up there. Smart business.
Obviously, he's going to have a lot of help, people doing this. But the question is, Connor, are you going to be trolling all the shows tomorrow? Are they going to have the debate like Whataburger, Five Guys, all the other like the local hamburger spots? They got to debate it now.
So if we're going to get into the debate, and I don't want to cut off Connor because he is an expert in this entire thing, but I'll give my thoughts first. He might agree. Whataburger is like LeBron.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
In-N-Out, Michael Jordan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Now, this is not what I'm saying, by the way. I'm McDonald's quarter pounder with cheese, better burger than everybody else has to fucking have. Like, I will live and die by that. That's not a popular answer, okay? I enjoy Five Guys. I like what they got going on. I enjoy the In-N-Out. I enjoy Whataburger. But for me, the quarter pounder with cheese is the best burger to ever be crafted. And call me basic, call me what you want. That is just how I am. That is what they'll try to do, right? They'll try to tie, okay, Whataburger's Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
Then what is Tom Brady? Which, by the way, he might be the quarter pounder with cheese. To be
Absolutely.
honest. And the In-N-Out burger might be Aaron Rodgers because California. Mm-hmm. And kind of cool, always shows up, big fanfare. That's what they'll do. We just did it, AJ. Thanks, actually, for making us a better sports show.
Good work, AJ. And they will throw in the location, because does Tom Brady play in Missouri? I don't know. So if Tom Brady doesn't play in Missouri, will McDonald's? I'm not sure. And if Patrick Mahomes is Whataburger, then you got to assume all the other burger places in there, they're more of like the Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill compared to the Whataburger, which will become Mahomes going forward.
But yeah, it'll be something like that tomorrow. It'll be something like that. Whataburger takes Kansas and Missouri expansion to new level with Kansas City, Missouri burger. KMO burger? What?
I think that's the company or like
the investor-led franchise
with KMO burger.
I mean, the bottom quote from Mahomes.
I love Kansas City and I love Whataburger. Said Mahomes. I'm excited to bring a gift from my first home to my second home. Hey, Pat, we're excited too. Pat. Hey, when KMO Burgers, which also happens to be eerily similar to Kansas and Missouri.
I thought it was Kansas City, Missouri. When you said that, I was like, oh, yeah, Kansas City, Missouri burger.
Sure. That's on the official release. I don't think we're smart enough to figure that out. But I'm happy that Patrick Mahomes continues to grow his investment portfolio alongside of his football portfolio. Let's get a billionaire from the NFL.
Yeah,
let's do that.
Here we go.
I love that. I'm very thankful for that. I'm excited to see Aaron, who has incredible business ventures as well. Maybe he'll get in the game and bring In-N-Out over to Green Bay. Yeah. I mean, maybe he will. I'm sure he'll be pumped to hear that this is what we would expect of him after Patrick Mahomes brings Whataburger to Kansas City. But I just think this is good for the game. Patrick Mahomes has, in the football sense, went back and watched the Super Bowl, which how it was phrased in the article I was reading was being described, The Ringer, as his worst ever game. He was the best quarterback in football, watched the worst game of his career twice. Okay, that's an interesting first sentence because if I do recall, Patrick Mahomes played his ass off, right? I mean, he had a couple of diving touchdown passes that were either dropped or he was making some miraculous plays that were incredible. I don't think anybody watched that game and was like, you know what? Patrick Mahomes played like shit here. I don't think anybody said that, but the tone of the article from The Ringer goes, the best quarterback in football watched the worst game of his career twice, okay? They said that to put him over. I just don't know if that was you get it. He was looking for something to learn from because that's sort of just what he does, and he found it. Sometimes, Patrick Mahomes told me, when I get hit early, I don't trust staying in the pocket and going through my reads. I kind of get back to that backyard style of football a little bit too much, and you could definitely see that in the Super Bowl. I mean, there were times that pockets were clean, and I was still scrambling. Patrick Mahomes here went to bat for his offensive line that was in the Super Bowl in his answer right here, but I don't think any of us would ever say that Patrick Mahomes had a bad Super Bowl or that the backyard football style isn't what makes him so great. There was a time there, and he's actually commented on it. Madden has commented on it. A lot of people have, where I thought that Patrick Mahomes was so successful and potentially unguardable and unstoppable because he gets a snap and he'll run straight backwards faster than the defensive line will. And then once he's 30 yards behind the line of scrimmage, he'll throw the ball 80 yards for a 50-yard completion to Tyreek Hill, who is with the time of Patrick running backwards has opened himself up. So I guess Patrick Mahomes is sticking up for his offensive line here and saying that he has faults and flaws, which every quarterback does, and I appreciate that. But I respect this out of Patrick Mahomes, but I hope we don't lose the maniac psychopath who's running around like he's running for his life making big-time plays.
I don't think we will lose that by any means. I think the number one thing he wanted to do here was defend his O-line. They're getting killed. They're saying how they lost the game because they couldn't block. And, hey, there's a ton of pressure on Mahomes, but it makes sense. It's something that's not talked about a whole lot when you're watching games. But when you hear Patrick say that, I'm like, oh, okay. He gets hit early in the pocket, so then he doesn't trust when he does have a clean pocket. You'll see sometimes in games, if the O-line, they could have a nice little pocket going But if the quarterback doesn't trust it, his internal clock goes off and he starts scrambling out of a clean pocket. Like you'll see guys, especially young quarterbacks in the NFL, if they don't trust their pocket, it's weird that it happens, but I didn't remember seeing that in the Super Bowl, but obviously Patrick did.
Yeah, the story was that there was no pocket, and I think what Patrick Mahomes was trying to say is I maybe didn't allow a pocket to be developed because of how I was playing. You know, you think back to Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield was running out to his right, running for his life when they were calling, 4th and 18 dives by Freddie Kitchens, his rookie. He was running for his life, always to the same side. In defenses, we're starting to key on that. They would send a little bit of pressure. As soon as Baker would feel it, everybody's just smash and cover to the one side of the field, and it was easy to kind of beat. I think Baker addressed that. He even acknowledged that he got better as he went on. As a defensive player, all-time leading tackler for the Green Bay Packers, a pretty good franchise, been around a pretty long time. Is that something like, hey, this person gets happy feet in situations, or we can take advantage of this? And is there some players that can never get out of it, and that just kind of becomes the way they play?
Well, I mean, no matter how much you improve and you figure out, okay, these are my weaknesses, and you try to improve them, you're going to come back to certain things at some times, whatever little faults you have or bad habits that you may have picked up over time. But, yeah, defenses, you absolutely look for that, thinking, okay, hey, this guy throws great when he's rolling to his right. We need to make sure no matter what, whoever is the end over there, if you're a corner blitzing, you never let him outside of you, and let's force him left. That happens all the time. No one wants to throw going to their left if they're a right-hander. I mean, they're much better now doing it than they were, I think, 20 years ago because quarterbacks are so athletic and so mobile. But, yeah, those are all little things that you're going to try to do, but you also have to go out there and execute, too, the players do.
Yeah, and Patrick Mahomes is throwing left-handed, and Aaron Rodgers has some filthy cross-body passes, and other guys do. Half of my passes in the NFL, I rolled to my right.
Yep.
Okay, I did roll it. Half of my passes in the NFL, I did roll to my right. I was out of the pocket, on the run. Actually, both feet, I think, in the air at one point while I'm throwing. Not the greatest form, but had enough zip to beat a crashing safety over top, obviously. Had to put it in a bucket. But some guys are more comfortable moving. Some guys are much more comfortable whenever they're moving.
It opens up the field, I think. They keep their eyes downfield, and it gives them the option of running, too. And if you're an athletic guy and you're not scared to get hit, why not get out there by yourself an extra second and a half and try to get somebody open?
I've seen some young guys who are much more accurate whenever they're running or moving. And I think it's because you're less thinky, more athlete take over.
Right.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Look for the Eagles to be big on that this year.
Well, Kyler Murray's kind of like that, right? It always seems like he is more comfortable when he's out, moving. Yeah, either moving to his left or moving to his right. With him, it doesn't really matter as much, but he looks more timid when he's just in the pocket than he does outside of it.
You can't see over him. Think about it. You gotta look out. Remember, Drew Brees was always looking out the bottom of his face mask.
Why did he do that? By the way, was that just natural and comfortable for him? He would.
I think it was just him sticking his nose up at everybody.
Yeah, I was going to say easier to look down on other people.
It's a really good point, actually.
Boy, true.
You did that on purpose.
I honestly did not. 100% did not. I don't understand how strong, the strong feelings people have towards Drew in that office.
Well, I do understand why Ty does.
I know one. I know one guy.
Yeah, because Drew did kind of give him one of those.
Yeah,
power driver.
Hey, great interview. I didn't bring you a smoothie in. You can shut. Right? Didn't he do that to you?
Give you a noogie?
Get the fuck out of my way.
He put his fucking elbow right on the base of my neck and tried to grind my T1, T2 into, stone. Hurt like hell. Still hurts.
Why would he do that?
I don't know.
He was a nice guy, though. He said hi to me.
I don't know.
That's why.
He did it to shake Zito's hand, basically.
Yeah, so he was actually being a good guy because Zito and Foxy were down in this tiny, terrible little pit area, okay? And Zito had a full fedora on. He had a cigar, a Hawaiian shirt on. He was Cuban Zete, times 10. Young Jeezy actually gave him a Cuban Zete, a shout out. Yeah, that whole thing. So Drew wanted to go meet the sensation of Cuban Zete down in this pit, and to do so, he felt the only way to do it was to bring that elbow right on the Ty's neck as he had to reach past him. And Ty will never forget about it. But for us, Drew Brees did change the game, obviously, for everybody, the way he played the offense, but also his size kind of opened up, I think, for a lot more people. But as these incredibly athletic dudes continue to be quarterback and get better at that position, it sounds like every mobile quarterback wants to be better in the pocket. It just sounds like it. And I think it's because over time and time and time, that's where you win from. And I think mostly that's because Tom, Peyton, Aaron is a guy who's very, very mobile. He moves all the time, but what he does in a pocket is filthy. It's just what he does with football, and I think that is football, basically. You know, AJ, that's football.
That's how Aaron moves in the pocket, how he slides and feels pressure. Similar, like Big Ben, great pocket presence as well.
That's a big deal. And that's why the running back blocking is so big, right? Because the running back is in your pocket, basically. So if that running back, and a lot of people talk about the transition for college running backs into the NFL, and they're like pass pro. And some guys might know who they're supposed to block, but they can't, for whatever reason, get their heads up football, proper form, get a good shot on a linebacker who has potentially been taught to bury the crown of his helmet into the jaw of whoever's blocking. But as soon as that becomes a distraction in the pocket, all of a sudden you got to move. So it's not just about knowing who to block. It's also being able to get the hell out of the way to keep that pocket full. And those who can feel it and move seem to have much more success, especially if they stay in there, like Patrick was saying.
Yeah, it's tough. I can imagine it's tough not to get happy feet. Sit there when you feel bodies falling at your legs, and you just got to hold it for a split second, and the route's going to open up.
That's exactly like, like if you're coming back from an injury and you're a quarterback, and there's potential people around you can maybe. We're talking about that with Joey Burrow just yesterday.
Yeah.
So, hey, this is going to be natural. This is a normal thing. My sources have told me Joey Burrow has flipped the switch, and he's all the way back.
Wow. Here we go, Joe!
That's what my sources have told me. I don't know what will come of it all, but my sources have told me, hey, Joey's starting to look like Joey fucking B again.
Let's go.
Excited for that. We kind of knew it was coming. After an injury, it can be a little bit of a mental hurdle. Happy he's there. Hour 3's in 6 minutes. Big time conversation coming.
I was told by Del Curry, Scottie Pippen struggles on a golf course. Right?
Right.
I was told at that thing that I'm going against Scottie Pippen the next day, match play, heads up, one-on-one Scottie Pippen. So we decide, okay, we could probably have a couple drinks, stay at the casino a little bit longer than we should.
Representing the NFL out of the Shoeless Golf Club of America, Pat McAfee. His opponent, representing the NBA, Scottie Pippen.
You know what I mean? This guy's got 6 rings. Yeah. He's a fucking Hall of Famer. But today he's going to play against me. And then I start seeing Scottie hit some shots that are just starting to come together. And I'm like, wait a fucking minute. I think I was lied to.
We were lied to yesterday. We were told Scottie Pippen was a terrible golfer. Bro, he's Scottie fucking Pippen.
Going in the back 9, I think I was down 1. We were battling. But I started making putts. And Scottie Pippen went ahead and got real hot. I mean, real fucking hot. I was down 3 with 7 left. And I looked right in the camera, and I go,
so we're down 3 with 7 holes left. Scottie Pippen's about to get this work.
Scottie Pippen from 190 yards out just fucking dunks it. Fucking boom, bang, and then walks up to the green, gets the ball, cameras on him, and he goes, Pippen ain't easy.
Kidding me. All right. Down 4 with 6 left after Scottie Pippen just chips him from fucking 400 yards out.
I was fucking demoralized.
Pippen ain't easy.
By the way, best he's ever performed at golf, because I'm around, better teammate than Jordan.
Yep.
People forget. Oh, yeah, I told Del, I was like, Del, what the fuck you lying to me? He was like, well, I saw it yesterday. He was not great. And Greg Anthony told me, and I was like, Del, he buried me, Del Curry. He buried me. He was like, hey, Pippen ain't easy.
Yes, baby, it's time to celebrate.
Talking about a shotgun of beer after he had beat me. Obviously, I teach him how to do it.
Yeah, put a hole in there. It might spread a little bit, so. Yeah, so you're going to go here, and then you're going to open and flip up. Does that make sense? Congrats on winning the NBA a couple times, blah, 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 blah. And being an incredible golfer. Right, well, cheers. Appreciate it. Hey.
Damn.
Okay,
That's
Scottie.
the best Bud Light I ever had.
Hey, there's no Scott King up here.
You're right.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on, you don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start
you know,
self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. When did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show here on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. Hour 3 with AJ Hawk and the Hammer Down Boys will begin right now. Welcome back. Can't thank you enough. Hope you're having a fantastic Thursday. AJ, you texted me during the break, said you had some breaking news. Please let everybody hear it. I can't wait. I'm excited.
Go. I mean, first off, I did not text you during the break, and I would never text you that I have breaking news because I never do have breaking news.
What's this guy's deal?
What the hell is going on?
What'd you do?
You're full of shit, AJ.
You just had breaking news about Aaron Rodgers Tuesday, so you're lying.
Did I?
Is it happening?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do.
Earlier in the week.
You know what? I'll say it.
What?
Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is happening again. This cowboy right here, who had a hell of an offseason, all right? Made some plays for future generations of Packers players this past offseason. Has gone back into camp and is just draining balls into buckets with his beautiful, free-flowing hair, his big smile on his face, and a team that is poised to go on another championship run.
Hell yeah.
On Tuesdays during the season, Cowboy will be back calling from his housing room.
Yeah! Yes!
It's a big day. Thank you, AJ, for texting me that during the break. I appreciate that. It is a beautiful Thursday, August 12th, 2021. Aaron Rodgers Tuesday is back. We can breathe soundly. We can sleep softly. And we can look forward to those days when we wake up after Overreaction Monday and we say, you know what, today we're talking to the reigning NFL MVP once again. Hell yeah! It's a good day, AJ. It's a good day. That's huge, dude, isn't it?
It's a good day for Mad Dog, the channel, right? So isn't it Tom Brady on Mondays on Mad Dog, and now Aaron's going to be here every Tuesday?
Jim Gray, I believe, is taking his on-stage conversations with Tom Brady that we have seen around the internet and his Monday Night Football conversations that happen on Westwood Radio, I believe it used to, during the Monday Night Football games, moving that to Mad Dog Radio on Mondays on Sirius XM alongside Larry Fitzgerald, Jim Gray, and Tom Brady. That'll be awesome. We will overreact to that on Tuesday for sure to hear what Tom Brady had to say. Then on Tuesday, after reacting to that, we will have the reigning MVP, the best ball thrower of all time, Aaron Rodgers, join us. Cannot wait for it. I can't wait to talk to him about how he feels going into the season. Can't wait to ride the wave of a 17-game season with him yet again. This is good stuff. This is good. And we obviously can't thank him or Ed, Big Money Ed, enough. Woo! That's awesome, AJ. Thanks for that, dude. That's good news. You always bring so much happiness to the show.
Thank you. That's what I am here for. But yeah, you mentioned Big Money Ed. You're right. He deserves a lot of credit as well. Ed working behind the scenes always.
The money team. Big Ed, dude. What a guy.
He'll smack you. You better watch it. Ed'll smack you, man.
Will he?
Is that right? Try him.
Okay.
I've seen it.
Ed, listen, I like it. Don't smack me, though, Ed. All right, I've been in the Oculus. You smack me, there's one coming back, and that thing's going to be a little bit heavier, I think. You know, I think it's... No, I would never fight Ed. I'm very thankful for Ed. I'm very thankful for Aaron Rodgers Tuesday. I'm pumped. Let's move along here. The thought that Russell Wilson has put himself in a position to take less money than he probably thought he was going to get is beautiful. Because Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks offseason was obviously so filled with controversy. I mean, there was a lot of controversy, so much so that the Bears actually made an offer to the Seahawks to trade for Russell Wilson days after Russell Wilson's people, not him, have come out and said, you know, we go to Chicago, we go to Miami, we go a couple other places. We don't want to be traded, but if we were, this is where we go. Chicago Bears try to make a run for Russell Wilson. So much so that whenever the Bears fans end up with Andy Dalton, there was misery around Chicago because they thought they had Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson and Seattle hated each other. There were stories coming out that he stormed out of meetings, and Pete Carroll had anonymous sources coming out in defense of him. I mean, it was nasty. It was ugly. They got back together in a good spot. Now, there's a couple hold-ins happening in Seattle Seahawks training camp because holdouts can happen with the new CBA. Jamal Adams and Dwayne Brown, offensive tackle, are having a hold-in with the Seattle Seahawks right now amid contract disputes. And now Russell Wilson has come out and said, listen, I'll restructure my contract if we can make some room for these guys. Russell Wilson, who said that he's basically all about the team, has always been the team guy, go Hawks, had the entire offseason. Now he has to go talk to the media every single day while knowing that his teammates maybe are asking for money with no money in the salary cap to happen. Russell Wilson had to say, I will restructure my contract, and he did because he's a noble gentleman. $19 million in base salary this season. He could flip that into a signing bonus for $17.925 million, spread that out over the next 3 years, and be able to sign Jamal and Dwayne Brown in a much easier fashion. Seattle Seahawks seem to be all the way back kumbaya. That's via Mike Florio's Pro Football Talk. Your thoughts on the Seattle Seahawks and whether or not they are able to come together and be a championship team with all this bullshit happening?
I mean, there does seem to be a lot like boiling under the surface right now, and Russell seems to have figured out a little bit, but he's not taking less money, right? He's actually getting more up front. And then your base, that's the best thing, too, because I'm not saying anything. We talked about the taunting rules, remember, the other day? Yesterday? You were pissed 2 days ago.
Bro,
what?
Tom Pelissero said,
what?
I don't want to get into the taunting rule yet because I'm going to lose my mind. And this is a one of like 100 or something like that. Yeah. And I am kind of willy-nilly with this thing, and I shouldn't be or whatever, because there's even a card that says when you sell this to Rick at Pawn Stars, it's worth a lot of money. There's not a lot of people that have this. Celebration of Adam Vinatieri. First ballot Hall of Famer, by the way. Going to be very difficult to look at his resume and say, no, he doesn't deserve to go into the Hall of Fame. That's going to be a tough job, I think, for a lot of people. They're going to put him in first ballot. Huge for kickers, huge for Vinatieri, huge for everything. Shouldn't be doing what I'm about to do to this ball. But anyways, I guess something happened at Denver Broncos camp. Guy, big catch, it's 100 and what degrees?
Oh, yeah. Hot
Middle
as
of
hell
training
everywhere.
camp, just made a big play or whatever. And I still think, I don't know why it's so hot out. I still think it's potentially because we're pushing the earth down and the core's coming out through.
Yeah, right.
And it's a little bit hotter than it normally is. Scientists will tell us why it's hotter or whatever. You got to do what you got to do. Somebody just spins the ball, AJ. Just spins the ball. Ref threw a penalty because he was potentially looking at a person. It's like, is this serious? Is this real? The points of emphasis means they're going to call it tight as shit. That is what points of emphasis mean. We're going to be overly ridiculous because we want to change it. Why is this what the NFL wants to do? Why are we going backwards? And if it's a ball spin, he won a 50-50 ball in practice. You know how pumped up and happy this dude had to be? I never heard of him. Devontrez Dukes. Dukes seems to be on a little something that's homegrown here. But when Dukes goes up and gets a 50-50 ball in a joint practice, he might have just made his dream come true to make an NFL team and make a living. He stands up, spins the ball, and the ref in the NFL are like, nah. Can't fucking do it, pal. It's not a completion. It's actually 15 yards the other way, and your team's going to have to punt, take a hike. Is this not entertainment, AJ? What the hell are we doing? I told Tom Pelissero to tell the NFL, cut the shit. We don't need this right now.
Well, it's a fine line because if they're going to flag somebody for that, which obviously the points of emphasis in the preseason, we'll see a ton of probably taunting flags. Didn't we have the same when we had 1,000 holding calls 3 or 4 years ago.
And then whenever they were changing tackling the first couple weeks.
And then during the season, though, they work it out, right? And it kind of takes care of itself, and they don't really go crazy.
It's not during the season. I mean, I guess it's during the season, but it's not like the first week of the season.
No, first couple weeks are always bad.
The roughing the passer a few years ago.
Clay Matthews is still pissed.
Oh, yeah.
But why is this?
Somebody's going to lose a game, though. I mean, somebody's going to lose a game because they spun the ball or something on a big third down conversion, or something's going to happen, and the ref's going to make a judgment call. Like, hey, I thought he was looking in the direction of his opponent and cost the team a game.
Hey, he had hate in his eyes. He had hate in his eyes. Like, what are we doing? Is that reviewable?
What if you're boys with them? Like, a lot of these guys they're boys. They train in the offseason together. What if you're a receiver, you're DB, you play with in college, you go win a 50-50 ball, and you just kind of mess with them and jostle with them and give them a hug afterward?
Is it reviewable? Like, can I?
Should be. It really should be.
And is the person allowed to plead their case? Like, I spun the ball because I got a little bit of a twitch there. You know what I mean? My hand, I had a twitch in my wrist, and so is there going to be allowed to be a full court out there?
Sure, yeah. That'll speed the game up, won't it?
Well, we do have a little review person on the side, radio and into the entire thing. But what does this have to do with Russell Wilson? He's never going to do that. Is that what you were going to say?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how. So you got off on the rules. What I was saying, not for Russell, but for anybody else. Let's say Russell got a couple taunting penalties in a game. You rejected. What if he had so many where he got suspended? You'd much rather have, if you're suspended for a game or 2 games, your base salary be $1.5 million compared to 19. It's a lot more money taken.
1,000%. And getting that money up front is obviously good news. I mean, hey, listen.
And you can make money on that money. Don't let them make money on your money.
Hey, do you remember when you and the rest of the NFLPA voted on our bonuses being deferred 3 years from now? Do you remember when that happened?
Yeah. I don't remember casting a vote.
Yeah, me neither. I found that very fucking interesting. Player performance bonuses. A lot of guys live off of those things in the offseason because a player performance bonus is actually something that happens if you outperform your contract. If you're playing more than what you are being paid, there's something created called the player performance bonus that comes in March. I think it's in March it comes. A.Q. Shipley, for instance, made a lot of money off this because his contracts were always small because he was built like a Michelin man. And he had small arms. You know what I mean? So nobody really was like, hey, we'll give this guy a bunch of money. But he always came in, played great, and won. Now he's a Super Bowl champion and a coach. But his player performances were awesome. Mine, good, not great, adding kickoffs and everything else to it. I outperformed my contract, so I got a little bit of bonus. And then when AJ and DeMaurice Smith sat down and met, they decided to go ahead and defer those bonuses for 3 years. You know what I mean? Like, we'll get those bonuses in 3 years. Instead of March now, we'll get those in 3 years because we're looking out for A.Q. Shipley. We're looking out for Pat McAfee. We're looking out for A.J. Hawk. That's what AJ and DeMaurice Smith. And all I asked was, so they're making money off of my money for the next 3 years, so much so that it's probably not even going to cost them money, and I can't make money off my money. Well, that's not the way we look at it. Okay. All right.
Sons of bitches.
I hate them. I hate them. Still do.
Why'd you do it, AJ?
Like I said, I don't know if I ever cast a vote as part of the PA. I'm not sure if there's anything we ever were supposed to vote on.
I would like to say that there's probably good things that the NFLPA has done in its existence.
Yeah.
I'd like to go on the record of stating we watched their you know, what's that called? Whenever like
symposium?
No, like you know, state-run. What is that? Propaganda. We watched so every NFLPA meeting started with a propaganda video about how good the NFLPA is.
Sure.
Okay, so it was good to take a little trip back in time to whenever guys, you know, were smoking cigs and working in the concrete and cement. And
the best.
There was no bonuses. There was no medical. There was no medicine. Like, listen, the NFLPA has done a lot of great things. Okay, I just like a lot, by the way, have done a lot of great things. But I think there's so much money in there now that is potentially being passed around that it has gotten a bit corrupt, so much so that I actually did not sign into the NFLPA the last couple of years of my career. Didn't go to the meeting, said, fuck it, I'm not doing it anymore. I can't, keep me off of Madden, do whatever you got to do. And I assumed that would have backfired on me if anything serious would have happened. But there has to be some way to figure that whole thing out over there. Jimmy's not happy. Obviously, a lot of it. Tom Brady's not happy. Yeah. Basically, every star that has ever been in the NFL in the last couple of years have come out and said, hey, this NFLPA needs to figure it the fuck out. But don't worry, I had Charlie Fuckaround in Harry High School come and tell me that the NFLPA is not looking out for Tom Brady or Jimmy Graham or even me, punter, by the way. He's looking out for the bottom half of the roster. It's like, you fucking idiot. Shut up. You have known nothing. Okay, who told you that? DeMaurice Smith, dude? Get out of here, bro. Like, there has to be a revision of that entire thing, I think. And this taunting rule, how come the players have no say in anything in this? Is just, I don't know how that even becomes a thing. I guess I'm wrong here for thinking this, but shouldn't the players be able to say, like, so you're going to ruin the game, probably fine us for this stuff, and we don't have a say that we can't even, like, woo! We can't even do that after a play. This is football. What are we doing, dude?
Well, that's why, and obviously, who knows if it'll happen, especially with where Brady's at his career. But if those top guys were to be more involved in the NFLPA, you'd think there would be more say or transparency, or at least some sort of business being made for the players.
But the top end guys will never be a part of it because the amount of time it would take to fix all the bullshit. Yeah. You can't be a top end guy.
It's like getting into politics. It seems very similar to politics. People have all these aspirations, all these dreams, and then they get there and they see how long it may take to even get like the tiniest thing. Like, oh, this is almost impossible. It's going to take me forever.
You talking about Gonzo?
Gonzo, I feel like a lot of them like that. Gonzo could be a good NFLPA head whenever DeMaurice is done.
I don't know if Gonzo is going to make. I mean, Gonzo
needs to get out now.
He is. Yeah. He's going ping, 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 boom. And like in real life and in actual metaphoric life, I think he is.
This is your guy. This is your commish.
Who?
Raj.
What?
Eating those M&Ms. You fell into his trap. Yeah, I'm your friend. I'm relatable. Nope. No fun leagues back. Can't spin the ball.
Whoa.
That's not Raj.
What's Nick's deal all about? It's not my commissioner.
That is your commissioner.
No, it was probably Troy Vincent, that fucking turncoat over there.
No, it's probably old bag of bones Walt.
I will say it probably is Walt. I think Troy's actually a good guy. He wouldn't give me the time of day at the draft when I had a couple ideas kind of shooting me off, but he's got other stuff going on, obviously. But it's very ironic that as soon as Walt is put into a position of power, the next day, I'm sick of seeing these guys fucking happy on a football field, seems to happen. Maybe this is Walt's first big move. And I need Roger Goodell, who's been my commissioner here for the last few years, turn this whole thing around, to maybe go in and say, hey, Walt, I know you suck, but I don't anymore.
Nope.
I eat M&Ms on a chair in my basement that I watch NFL TV in, or football in. I need you to maybe change this around so we can have an entertaining game. I think this is Walt. Good call, Tone. I appreciate that.
Well, and they don't have to because like they don't have to bend the knee or do anything for anyone. But but you'd think that they could just like see the reaction this is getting, and Raj could just be like, all right, we're not fucking doing this.
Yeah.
Like we'll just walk this one back.
I think adding something in for taunting, like the dancing on the logos and
thank you, yes,
other stuff. Well, it was mostly the Steelers, by the way.
Three guys doing it.
Only action. Just one Steeler.
But what I'm saying, no, there was numerous filming too. Yeah. There was,
Chase was in there. Crew. Claypool.
One guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, if they would have put it in there like, hey, you can't be egregious with your bullshit, like that would have been okay with me. But having it be a point of emphasis, that is taking it to another level. That means, hey, we are looking for this. Every week there's a point of emphasis that is given out to every single team. Hey, this week's point of emphasis is holding in between the tackles because we've seen a lot of too many of it happening, blah, blah, blah. So that week, there's going to be 7,000 hold calls in the middle there for the guards or whatever. And then the next week, it's a new point of emphasis. Then the next week, the fact that this is like the season-long point of emphasis, I just hate, I don't get it. Hey, we got COVID, Delta Lambda Phi coming back, all right? Yeah. Maybe we can just enjoy ourselves, get a little mental vacation, and watch some of the greatest athletes of all time celebrate their accomplishments while they're doing it live on the football field, which is supposed to be our escape. What are we doing, dude?
And if they're going to do this, they should make it more like specific. Like spitting a ball can't be a penalty. If you really want to throw a flag about it, if someone's flexing in some guy's face and going after him after the play, fine. But something as small as that, or like a first down,
that's the point. There has to be specifics, though. They have to be explaining specifics to the players, because when they present this to the players, I guarantee you, there's 40 questions like, "Hey, can I do this? Can I do that?" And they got to give them some kind of direction.
TJ Watt's like, "Oh, so I can't do the fucking kick thing?"
Yes, right, exactly.
You could do it. You can't do it like in the vicinity or towards another player, it sounds like.
I don't think he's going to be able to do it.
No way.
Yes, point of emphasis, AJ. That's what I'm saying.
They're not saying celebration. They're saying taunting.
No, I think they're
That's taunting.
I think they're lumping celebrating into taunting. I think
you tell me Jared Allen wouldn't be able to tie him up.
Jared Allen wouldn't be able to make it to the Hall of Fame in this fucking league that they got right now.
I'd say that's completely different than I thought. If that's truly how they're going to enforce it,
they showed the video. The one of the things they showed was, I think, definitely something maybe a little bit too much. But Jarvis had a catch and stood up and just went like this, and they're like, "Yeah, that's taunting," or whatever. It's like, what? He just made a massive catch.
First down.
We've seen him on Hard Knocks. He might have just made $1 billion organization have their first ever win in the history of the fucking organization. I just don't understand why this is what they're needling on. There has to be other stuff we could potentially be needling on as opposed to celebrating, unless you're trying to go back in time where there was no individuality allowed in the NFL. Your socks, your pants, everything has to be.
They don't want that. They want to water it down. They want like any person on the planet to be able to turn the TV on and feel safe. Like, hey, my kid's here. I want them to be able to see something that's not going to freak them out, not going to show them like, hey, I don't want them to do this to other kids in their games. Like, they want to be like this polished version of a very violent, crazy game.
And this is exactly like the people that have played in the NFL who are supposed to get on TV and talk about what it's like to be in the actual NFL as opposed to a fairy tale land that people maybe view the NFL. So whenever a fight happens at training camp, oh, this is archaic. This isn't what. Well, that's not real life. Like, hey, they're going to fight. And by the way, guess what? The greatest athletes on earth in the NFL in a violent game, whenever they accomplish something, there's a chance that they're going to say, hey, fuck you. I just did that to you. That is, you go to YMCA, by the way. I hate to break it to you, mom or dad. Take your kid to a YMCA to get a good pickup game. That's going to happen if you get dunked on by some 18-year-old kid. That's just competition. That is what it is. I don't like the entire thought of changing that. And by the way, I was somebody maybe that, did do a little bit whenever I was playing a sport that actually allowed me to do something other than just kick a ball. Once you play in a punter or kicker, your shit talking stops. Sure. But I enjoy the head games. Like, I think that's a big part of the sport, and not everybody's for it. Not everybody talks. Not everybody flexes. Not everybody gets excited. But situations are situational. That might be the only reason why that person has made it to the NFL, because of how they act. And it's just like, why are we trying to take that away whenever that is really all the highlights that you watch from generations and generations? It will always show somebody celebrating excitement, because guess what? You should be excited. You should be emotional. You should care about your performance, as opposed to just acting like it's another day. It's not. Something great just happened for my team. I'm pumped. You shouldn't be penalized for that.
And the difference between celebrating and taunting is completely the judgment of the referee. Because if you're celebrating a first down, but there happens to be a player in front of you, then it turns to taunting.
And I don't want to have to hate Walt in this position like I did with Riverone.
Sure.
Do we take Bert for granted?
Huh?
Do we take Big Bert for granted?
Well, I think Big Bert was kind of put in a position there by the NFL to kind of be hated by everybody. Yeah. If what we were told by Pereira was right, whenever they put in the pass interference review, which I am a fan of, I am a massive fan of, that is a 50-yard penalty that could happen because one ref maybe blinks his eye and doesn't see a 4-2 running against a 4-3, and somebody holds and they don't, water got in their eye. Maybe this ref that is 95 years old and maybe can't keep up with the 4K or 8K cameras that we have, and they don't call it, and we just missed out on a 50-yard completion that could changed the careers of everybody involved. Wide receiver, quarterback, coach, organization. We have the technology to be able to be like, oh, common sense. That is pass interference. But the ball, oh, we shouldn't ruin this team's chances with this bad pass interference call that could completely flip the game or end the game. Then Alberto Riveron somehow executed that so poorly that coaches even were looking around at their crowd and saying, like, there's no reason for me to do this. They're going to fuck it up in review. And then we were told by Pereira afterwards that the NFL was asking Riveron in those reviews to hold the pass interference penalty at such high regard that it had to be egregious for them to call it or for them to overturn it. So Riveron became the target of our venom heavily. Because this was good for the game to get the pass interference review into it. I thought it was good for the game. The execution was terrible. So bad that they were able to get rid of it, which I think was a plan to begin with. But that whole thing, if Walt becomes this situation, I'm not going to be able to do it all year because I already don't like the guy. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to do this all year if he continues to do stuff like this.
Well, and that's ultimately what it's going to take with this is like if, Josh Allen or Mahomes in a late game situation scrambles for a first down, they do, like the first down, signal for one, and then it's a 15-yard penalty, and then end up losing or something. Because it was, when they were doing the roughing the passer thing, it was after that Clay Matthews sack against Kirk Cousins where they overturned it, and then he threw a touchdown on the next play. Like, it was after that week where they were just getting killed. They were like, all right, like, we need to reassess this.
And the fans that don't like this type of stuff, believe me, I've had some people tweet me about, oh, yeah, just act like you've been there before. It's like those are the same people that get upset about pro players not caring about the team as much as college players do. And it's like, so they are actually emotionally invested completely, entirely, so much so that when something good happens, they want to celebrate. That's how they are. And now they're not allowed to do that. It's like, so they're asking them to not care as much, I think is what people are actually asking. The NFL is currently asking. So the people that are against the taunting thing also are for things that seem to just kind of contradict each other. I don't fully
care, but act like you've been there before, okay?
Yeah, okay. And do it this way. This is how we want you to do it,
Yeah, do it how I would do it, how I would want you to do it. That's what they want.
I'm sick of it, dude.
It goes back to the whole thing, Pat. Remember, we always made the joke back around the election, hey, everyone's telling you to vote. Hey, make sure you vote. And I'm like, well, what if I don't want to vote for who you want me to vote for? Do you still want me to vote?
And the answer was no every single time. But I think we didn't really ask. I don't think we had a conversation with anybody enough about, hey, you got famous, knitting. So I think the whole world did want to hear your political thoughts. That kind of did start to happen there in the world that we're currently in. And I don't know how we got into that completely, but I would like to say, fuck this taunting thing from the NFL. I am all the way against.
Just thinking about the penalty, like when Ty ran through that situation where like Mahomes scrambles for a first down out of bounds, and he gets the taunting penalty because it's after the play. Are these still going to be first downs? It'll just be like 1st and 25.
Probably, It'll probably come after the play, personal foul.
Just back
unless
where
it's
you
on
were.
the defensive side, and then it's an automatic first down.
Then it's an add of 15 onto the end. But if you. All right, so I'm watching film now, and this is what some NFL players will do, and I don't think people know this enough about NFL players. NFL players will watch film and try to get an edge on anything. And there'll be some coach or team, like let's say Josh Allen is, Patrick Mahomes is a guy, like, hey, try to sneak in.
Yeah.
Like, hey, try to sneak in whenever that's happening because that's a quick 15, go back the other way. Guys will game this. Like, literally. Defensive players will game this. A big catch happens, defensive player will just stand straight up in the thing, and it's like, oh, you don't have anything to say. That's interesting. Go ahead. See you later. All right, here we go.
Just stop and stay. That's right. Like if you're chasing a play and a dude like dives and makes a catch and you're trailing, just stand right next to him and stare right in his face.
Yeah, well, I think that could potentially be taunting.
That would be. Yeah,
I don't think you can make eye contact, but I think you can stand there as if you're about to take a charge.
Yeah.
And then if something happens in the area, guess what? 15, take it back the other way. That's smart football.
Yeah, if TJ Watt, if you're playing the Packers or Pittsburgh, and TJ Watt gets a sack and he's going to kick, if you're an offensive lineman, sprint in front of him right away.
Right to the face.
Yeah.
Right away.
But not even, I think you just have to be in the area, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Or like how AB wiggles and drops the ball after, you just go run and slide and have him drop the ball on top of you.
On your head.
Taunting.
Whoa! T.Y. Hilton does a forward ball drop double thing. So if you're on another team, you immediately after that catch just roll right into the area.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick is coaching techniques on how to get close to somebody who just did something good to potentially get a taunting call right now.
Yeah, and if you're celebrating in practice, guess what? Your ass is going home. You're cut.
Listen, you need to figure out how to celebrate without looking at anybody or being around anybody. And once you do that, you can celebrate. But until then, we are going to practice on getting in the way of other people celebrating. Because guess what? That's 15 yards a pop. Boom. And it's the point of emphasis. That's what's going to happen out of this whole thing, and that's why it's so fucking ridiculous. The football gods have to hate that this is happening.
Please change it back.
Let's go to the 5-Hour Energy phone line, AJ. You want to take a call or two, AJ?
Yeah, let's do it.
Go to 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee. Get 10% off your order. Only valid through September 30th.
Oh, it's getting close.
Listen, I know how the internet operates. If there's no deadline, you're not going to do it. And September 30th is maybe 7 years from now.
Yeah, long time.
A lot of things are going to happen before then. A lot of times of us speaking into the microphone, a lot is going to pass before then. But if you go to 5hourenergy.com, that's the number 5hourenergy.com. Use promo code McAfee, get 10% off your order. They got the summer flavors.
Oh, my God.
Watermelon.
What?
Tropical berry.
What?
Pineapple. What? I don't know if pineapple's a...
You could have hit all those with extra strength, by the way. I think we could have got 6 out of that.
Just keep saying watermelon. The watermelon is delicious, my friends.
What?
What?
Watermelon.
What are those big boys, tall boys?
Those were watermelon. I think they got a berry, too, in there, too. A grape.
Hey, have you seen this? They take the shot and put it in a diesel form. They have it.
This can.
It's in a.
It's basically like 24 hours. 24 hours.
Yeah, no, it's the equivalent, pretty much, of drinking like 8 5-hour energy shots. I think.
Quick math. What's that? 40 hours.
Yeah.
40-hour tall
All
boy.
week. Cover your week.
Yeah, got a long weekend coming up for Jay's birthday and bachelor party.
Exactly. You might want to chug 1, 2 of those after the show.
You're good until Monday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Shout out to happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Thank you. Yeah, happy birthday, Jay.
Fine.
Thank you, AJ.
Took you long enough.
Hey, Jay, it's been a while, hour and a half since you've come on the show. You didn't say that to Jay.
It's okay, AJ. I understand.
No, Jay, it's not okay.
It's not okay.
Not okay.
Don't let it fly.
Why is it taking an hour and a half since I've been on the show for you to get in?
We've already
I left the show. Obviously,
Welcome to the show.
it's my
You did have
birthday.
a very nice Instagram post about it.
Well, it's real. And also, this was my birthday for a rather good chunk of my life. You know what I mean? August 12th, 1983. 17070. I could do a social security number right now.
Here we go. Do that right now.
Here we go.
I'm a Leo. All right. I know my parents. I know what my first job was. Panama City. Well, Canada asked me what my sign was. I did not know that Jay was a Leo, but they did give me my card back, which is very nice of them.
Nice.
Very, very nice of them. Panama City, I stared down the Panama City Police Department, basically, and said, no, I'm Jason, even though it said it was 5'8" or something like that. Jay, that's the only issue. If you could have grown a little bit quicker.
Yeah, sorry, I should have wore stilts or something.
Yeah, I would have.
Pogs. Put pogs in your shoes, dude.
I stared them down. I stared. They had X's on my hand, said it was a fake, took the card. I was like, oh no, this can't happen. It was like day 1 of spring break or whatever. I was like, that's me. What are we talking about? And they're like, are you sure? Yeah. You want me to go get the police? And then obviously a couple of my teammates from West Virginia are like, what are you doing? I'm like, yeah, bring them over. Bring over all the cops.
Right now.
All the cops. I'm kind of surrounded, you know what I mean? Did the whole thing. Hit the social security number. Hit everything.
Do that?
Boom, bang, pow, boom. And then I made the guy erase the X's off my hands. Do it. Thank you so much. Give me my card back. I'm out of here.
That's right.
It was perfect. Our faces looked exactly alike. It was just our bodies vastly different.
Growth spurt.
I would like to let that bouncer know at that particular bar, although he did seem to be an asshole. Good eye. Good eye. Good eye. Good eye. Let's go to Edgar in Denver on the 5-Hour Energy phone line. Happy birthday, Jay. What do you want to talk about, Edgar?
Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Hey, what's happening, Pat? I just wanted to say a little FU to Gumpy for saying Barca was dead in the waters.
You are dead.
Come on, man. 2 trophies next year, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
In what? And there's no league.
Yeah.
You guys are the Farmers League.
You're in the Farmers League
now.
Better one, too.
You guys can't even register your players you bought this summer, dude.
Bro, Bartha's dead, dude.
There's no sign up at all?
Bartomeu fucked it up, all right?
Hey, Edgar, listen.
I know Bartomeu fucked it up.
Barcelona couldn't even sign any player right now if they had to. They got no money. You guys aren't even going to be able to field a team. What championship are you going to win? 3-on-3, huh? Futsal? Is that where Barcelona's going to be able to succeed?
Del Rey, La Liga, for sure.
Not a chance. Messi wanted to play for free, and he still couldn't do it. You guys stink.
Whoa.
What's that all about, dude?
What's that all
That
about?
was a little anger there.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
Force players to sit out on their teams to transfer to go play for them. And now it's karma.
Oh, this is
Welcome to the modern world, Barcelona.
Let's go to Jordan in North Carolina. I don't understand it either, but I guess none of them have money. They were trying to pass around money. They were trying to do the whole thing. Barcelona completely mismanaged a lot of stars and money. Bad business. Ted Lasso would have never let this happen, but Barcelona did. Now you need to know PSG is who we're all betting on to win everything going forward. Unless they have to play against the U.S. men's national team and it's our A team, then we'll bet on us. Let's get Carli Lloyd on that team, by the way.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Let's get Carli Lloyd over on the U.S. men's team with Christian, Reyna, and all the other players out there. DK, that kid's a stud. I mean, we could probably take down PSG, but nobody else would be able to.
Cristiano's contract is up this year with Juventus.
Is he coming to Portland Timbers?
Yes.
Let's go.
PSG.
It's time.
Sounders?
He's going to PSG?
There's rumors Ronaldo and Messi together at PSG.
Oh.
That'd be sweet.
With Neymar and Mbappe, too? How can they afford all these guys?
Well, PSG, all these guys are taking pay cuts to basically go play at this place.
Sponsored by Jordan, dude.
France is loaded, too.
And also, day one of PSG having Messi, not only did they gain 20.3 million followers on Instagram, which I would like to test the logistics of that.
Yeah, please.
There seems like there is potential, maybe some fuckery going on there, but understand that Messi is still an absolute stud, and maybe 20.3 million people, 20.4 million, sorry, did follow PSG the day it happened that didn't previously follow PSG in the soccer world. Let's guess they did, I guess but they also, day one, $100 million worth of jerseys were sold, of Messi jerseys, and the club only gets 10% of that. So they made $10 million in day one. They're paying him $41 million. Couple quick questions. How do they only make 10%? Who's making the other 90%? Is it Messi?
It has to be. I have no idea how it works.
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan brand.
That's a good deal.
Jordan, I assume, probably does have some deals like that worked in.
90% of
That's
it?
a lot.
Yeah. People like the, I'll buy shit just because it has the Jordan logo on it. Come on.
Yeah, but with Messi involved in that thing, and I understand that Barcelona is terrible business-wise, PSG only getting 10% of their jerseys being sold. That seems like that's
great either.
That's kind of suspect business as well. Joe Pompliano, Italian Joe, says Messi will be paid an annual salary of $41 million, but in the first 24 hours of his arrival, the club has already sold 832,000 jerseys, bringing in $105 million in revenue. The club keeps. Maybe they did pick up 20.4 million followers. The club keeps around 10%, so that's $10.5 million in profit on the first day. Like, how? So they profit, so they have no overhead then in the game. Is that what they just they take all their hands out of it? They just say, "I'll take 10%, you sell everything."
I don't know. I was gonna say for the IG, he's got 250 million followers, so 10%.
Does he though?
What do you mean?
Like if you purge him, how many would he have?
I don't know.
Follow everybody. I'm not.
Listen, I'm all in on Messi being very, 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 very famous.
Wait, are you saying that he like paid for followers, or they just
No.
don't they add them when you have that many?
I'm not saying Messi did. I'm just saying it does feel like there's. I mean, there was some person that was coming out saying that they had more listeners than there actually was a population in the world. You know what I mean? Some of these numbers on the internet, numerous. This isn't just one person. This is the internet now with the way numbers are and everything like that. I understand Messi's popular. 20.4 million people, though, hitting follow on PSG in one day. That seems alarming. And if not, this guy deserves $300 million if that's the case. I couldn't even fathom him juggling over his dog is worth, what, at least $10 million a post if that's the case.
Oh, that NFT?
So Nike gets the shirt sales.
Nice. Smart.
Nike.
How
and
fast
Jordan
can they
brand.
make them? 832,000 shirts basically bought like over a few days. Like when did these people get them?
Well, in PSG, by the way, that's why they just have their hands completely out of it. They just license their name out, I guess, to Nike and
They get
Jordan.
80 million pounds per year from licensing deal with Nike and Jordan brand.
Hey, we get 10% and 80 million. You guys handle it all. So if we get 832,000 orders because the best player on earth gets fucked out of his team that he's been with since he was 13 years old, that's on you guys to figure out, not on us. Maybe it is good business. Maybe it is good business out of PSG. Let's go to Jordan, North Carolina on the 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Jordan?
Hey, quick shout out to you, Connor, Ty, Hammer Down, boys in the back. Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Thank you, sir.
Turned 70 yesterday. Hey, that Tom Segura line you dropped a few weeks ago on WD, SmackDown, was hilarious.
Thank you. Mystic Rick, shout out.
Hey, Hey, shout out to SeatGeek by using promo code McAfee. That's MCAFEE. I got $20 off my first purchase. I will go see MVP versus MVP, Packers versus Ravens in December.
Okay. All right, Jordan. Hey, this is a good call, by the way. Other people should be listening saying, hey, this is a good call. Let's go ahead and wish happy birthdays. Let's give free promo shout-outs to Siki.
Yeah.
This is a good call, Jordan. We appreciate you. Call back whenever. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, so Colin Kaepernick, would you guys go get him?
At this point, Jordan, are we still having that conversation for real? Was it like 5 years at this point?
Yeah.
Jordan, I don't know if that's even, and that's no offense to Kaepernick, obviously, Jordan, but right now, I mean, I was interested in that NFL workout that was happening for Colin strictly because I've seen those workouts before and they are a bitch. And if Colin was able to continue to train while profiting off of everything else going on in his life, running a business and everything that he was doing, if he was able to stay in shape enough to get through one of those workouts, I was excited for it and I was going to be incredibly impressed. I think at this point, though, he has turned the page. I think he's back in the good graces of the NFL. I don't know. Unless, maybe. Weren't they trying to?
He had a role with.
But no, I don't think so. At this, I mean, I don't even think he wants to. So I don't even know if that is worthy of a convo there. 5 years out's a long time, dude.
A lot of quarterbacks in the NFL too that don't have starting jobs.
Yeah,
there are a lot of vet quarterbacks that aren't with teams right now, right? That most likely will get signed after week one or sometime.
So General George Payton actually said that nowadays there's more quarterbacks out there that are available than cornerbacks. And that was in defense of him drafting Patrick Surtain, who had somebody locked down in training camp from the Vikings the other day. Number 2 does look sweet.
It does.
Yeah.
Very.
Number 2 does look very sweet. Let's go to the phones. Let's go to Benjamin in Portland on the 5-hour energy phone line. What's going on, Benjamin?
Yeah, 5'10", 225.
Wrong show. Dan Patrick would hit the bell for you. I appreciate that. I used to say that every time I called into Dan Patrick. I respect and appreciate the nod. We don't have a bell. I wish we did.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. We're not good at that show either.
I want to shout out
There you
my
go.
mom.
Say something else for this show.
That's our show. He just did shout out. I mean, he kind of let your words just blend together like Yinzers. That's good enough for me. What's going on, dude?
Hey, what are you getting Jay for his wedding?
For his wedding or his birthday, Benjamin?
I don't know, both.
Yeah, great question, Benjamin. I can't give that away because that ruined the surprise. This guy in Portland probably all
fucking liquored up.
All hopped up on every drug they got over there.
Classic Timbers fans.
Hey, I appreciate you calling in with the attitude and the energy, pal. I really respect that. But goddamn, read the room, dude. Let's go to Alex in Minnesota. What's going on, Alex?
Bad boys, how the hell are we doing today, Hawk? Boys, how we doing?
Not as good as my guy over in Portland. He is living a good life. Hey, Portland, by the way, that's left, right?
Yeah, it's not even noon, my friend.
Let's go, dude. He might just got off the graveyard shift.
Yeah, some breakfast beers.
Yeah, he's coming out. Yeah. And we appreciate that call. Yeah, give it a go next week, man. What do you want to talk about, Alex?
Hey, I wanted to shout out my boy Jay on a Jay McAfee Thursday.
Attaboy, Jay. How about this, Jay? How about this, dude? It's pretty good. He loves it.
Just, I don't know, wanted to see how the boys are doing, and I wanted to ask Billy Tubes if I heard Jake Paul might be on, so I wanted to know if he needed a new chair.
Great question, Alex. And Billy Tubes isn't the only one excited about Jake Paul joining us in about 18 minutes or so. I'm excited to chat with him, man. I am very, very excited to chat with Jake Paul.
Yeah, so he's coming out at 3 o'clock, is that right?
Yeah, YouTube only, obviously. And I think, I mean, if you're in the spotlight, whether it's on the internet or on TV or in the tabloids, and you're going through, you know, like 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, like that age, like you're going to make mistakes in front of a lot of people. I think he has owned them. There's people that will never forgive him for any of the dumb shit that he has potentially done as a teenager in the public eye or whatever. But I think from a business standpoint and everything, that dude's a fucking genius, as is his brother. I can't wait to chat with him here in about 17 and a half minutes on YouTube at youtube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. We have to get to a break. I thought we already took one.
I definitely knew that. I was trying to see. I didn't want to remind you because I knew you definitely thought we took one like a 30.
Who's got my back though?
I do.
Zito.
Hell yeah, Z. Not a baby Z.
Zito.
You, Z.
Hey, Zito has been putting the entire system back together behind the scene on the cell phone while also pressing shit over here. It has been a big day back there for Zito next to. Hey, Z, we appreciate you.
Thank you, Z.
Yeah, see that? He's speaking in a microphone that isn't on. Yeah, we got to get to a break. Thanks, see. Still some things to work on back here. We're back in 4 minutes with more phone calls and wrapping up this beautiful Thursday, August 12th, before Chris Mad Dog Russo takes the reins on SiriusXM, and we continue at YouTube. We'll see you in 4. The NFL is implementing the Hawkeye replay system, which has the smart technology, which is synchronized multi-angle replay technology, which allows the ref to view all of the shots and angles of a certain play at the same damn time, as opposed to what they've been doing all along, which is TV producers deciding what replays they see when. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable.
What? Now, we know a lot about these TV producers, okay?
Yeah.
I couldn't see Joey Josh Chestnut eat his 76th fucking hot dog, all right? Bullshit. On 4th of July to break his own record because of a production. We've seen a lot of other rather terrible decisions made in television, in broadcasting of games made. Those same people now, I'm learning, were the people that were deciding what angles the 95-year-old refs in the NFL were getting to see. This is absurd. Thankful that the XFL, who had the Hawkeye smart technology, synchronized multi-angle replay technology, either created, invented, or used from other places, like tennis has this, I believe. I like that we're expediting the replay system. I like that we're getting up with the times. Replay should be an asset to the NFL, as opposed to what it is, which seems to be a burden. The pass interference replay thing, because of how terrible they botched the execution of that, it probably will never be brought up or, thought about again, because fans will be able to say, oh, remember when they did that last time? It's like, no, remember how they executed that last time. The replay system is run by people who have not a lot of experience with maybe quick, slow-mo, fast forward, maybe just content being in their face all day, every day. I like that we're making this better. It's better for the game. It's better for everybody. There's a lot of money on the line. Let's not let an opportunity pass where we can utilize technology to make sure the right shit gets done. Let's just do it in a much more efficient fashion. I've always felt that way, AJ.
Well, it's much more efficient, but it makes me question, how did we go this long to where a TV producer is controlling what replays, what angles you're going to see, for the referee, that kind of blows my mind when you think about it.
Yeah, I read it yesterday and I almost axled my pants.
Yeah.
I didn't, because I'm an adult, but you get it.
Right. No, I don't know. I bet you have in the last 5 years.
No, I haven't, but I had. There was that one time where I thought it was going to be a sound, and it was actually action.
Yeah, a little close. That's a different story.
Yeah, but I mean, it wasn't a full axle, I don't think.
Yeah, no, sharding is not pooping.
Step in it.
Whoa, I have a little couth on for the goddamn good of the show. But speaking of that, I was quite alarmed whenever I read that TV producer. I'm like, the same people that are making a lot of the decisions that we get a chance to witness every single week are the same people that are deciding whether or not a play that I have a lot of money riding on potentially is overturned or not. I am not about that. Assume Raj had to walk in there and do a full, you know what I mean?
Yeah, curtsy.
Hey, we're coming. We're bringing a big sports stooge thing over here. Is that okay? Yep, deal. Perfect. Let's get some tea. Let's get the fuck out of here. How do you think that went between Raj and the Queen? You think she liked them?
Yeah. I bet she liked them. She probably knows a lot. What if she's sitting there and then all of a sudden she's like, so what about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? What about the Deshaun Watson situation? That was spot on accent.
Hit that one out of the park.
What if she's really dialed in to the NFL?
This is the Pat McAfee Show on SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Shady Rays has never understood why sunglasses were so expensive, so they set out to change it. Shady Rays is an independent sunglasses company, so they do things their way. Something that is very rare in the industry.
Truly.
Here's some right here. I got them right here.
Hell yeah.
What's up, dude? What's up, dude? Hey,
Wow.
cool glasses, Connor.
Hey, cool glasses, pal. Those are sweet.
Hey, cool glasses over there.
Thank you, Pat. Cool glasses.
Are those the blue hue glasses?
Oh,
so you
yeah,
protect
don't
your
hurt-
eyeballs
my
when you're
eyes feel good.
Yeah. Don't be looking at anything on your internet browser without the blue hue glasses from our friends at Shady Rays.
Smart.
You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, you're talking about
butts again.
Big red butts.
Yeah, this office has a problem, and we will be bringing in somebody to teach you guys how to fucking act in public. Okay, I want to let that be known. But yeah, use your blue hue glasses. And if you want to get into the sunglass game, there's only one company that offers a warranty that is stupid. Okay, so stupid that if you lose or break your pair of Shady Rays, they will replace them. What? Yeah, doesn't matter if they break in your pocket, in a car, on a boat, in a truck, on the road, in a bakery, in a restaurant, in a cafe, in a bar, in a sports bar, in AJ Hawk's house, in Axel's room. Why are you in Axel's room with sunglasses? A lot of people are going to ask. That's a great question. Don't go in there. If you wear sunglasses in the Axel Hawk's room, they will be broken. The good news is, with Shady Rays, they will replace them if you lose them or break them for any reason at all. It makes 0 sense at all. That's why cutting out the middleman and going straight to the supplier is what Shady Rays has had a lot of success off of, because they are a good business and good company. Hell yeah! Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed, and have donated over 15 million meals to date.
A lot of meals.
You start doing the math. 10 meals to fight hunger with every order. 15 million. Hey, congrats to Shady Rays.
All right.
That's for good reason. These glasses are awesome, AJ. You need a pair. They even have pairs that fit like massive domes.
I wear them every day when I'm driving. I wear my sunglasses. I have the blue light glasses somewhere too.
Well, listen, you do not need to be wearing sunglasses when you're driving. You already have a hard enough time staying awake while driving. We've all
They
had
do make me
stories.
tired. Like, looking through the dark lenses actually does make me somewhat tired.
Well, it's not just the glasses. And I do not want Shady Rays to be a part of your driving problems, okay? You are somebody who should not be behind any wheel, let alone a wheel with kids in a car. But neither here nor there. The sunglasses do make you look better, feel better, and live better. Shout out to Shady Rays. And right now, use code McAfee. You get 50% off 2 or more pairs at ShadyRays.com. That's BOGO. Buy one, get one free. ShadyRays.com. McAfee for 50% off 2 or more pairs. Change the way you wear sunglasses and give Shady Rays a risk-free shot. Exclusively for our viewers and listeners, Shady Rays is running this deepest deal this season. Welcome back to the show, AJ.
Hey, did Nick say people are Googling big wet butts over there?
Yeah, I had our internet company, person who runs the internet, sent over to me, said, hey, you just might want to know that there are some interesting things happening on your internet, on your network.
The monthly logs, I think it was.
Yeah, and it was Ty's computer.
Disgusting.
So, obviously, Ty immediately started deflecting.
They give you like a printout of their websites they have.
Search history.
Yeah, but also what's eating up a lot of your gigs. Like what, for instance, Connor at one point was... He had to be watching in maybe Peter
seasons.
North's entire.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? 'Cause
I didn't have the downloading speed in my apartment. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, well, that's what he was eating our internet so he could watch others eat Peter North's kids, basically. And that was sent to me. And I made it public. I made it public in the office. Hey, we can't have this. All right, this is a workplace. Let's have a little fucking respect. And then just yesterday, I get a full call like, hey, something's going on again. It's not on Connor's computer anymore. Thank you, Connor.
Hey, anytime, my face.
This time is on Ty's laptop, actually.
It's disgusting, pal. It's worse than the shipyard back.
Okay, so that's not actually Gumpy, and I don't know if Gumpy actually feels that way, but it does look and sound exactly like
I
that.
should clean it up, though.
Well, yeah, that's very rich. Company.
Foxy thought that was Foxy didn't know if that was deep fake Gumpy or actual Gumpy, but it feels like both of them are on the same page. Hey, enough with the big wet butt stuff.
Which is interesting because Gumpy and his cohort Mitt are the two guys who are prancing around to the computers and saying, oh, dude, type in big wet butts on Google. It's going to be hilarious.
Mitt can't spell big wet butts.
Okay, that is true, and I think it did have a spelling error in the Google that I was told. Butts had 1 T in it, is what I was told. But the entire situation is... Hey, Mitt, I hope you and Gumpy are having your fun with Ty's laptop because we weren't able to connect to AJ Hawk's computer yesterday because of what you guys were doing to the damn internet. Meat spinning, all these. It needs to stop.
I'm sick.
Just do what we did as kids. Go to the family computer, download it on BearShare, and when you get home, it'll be there as a nice little surprise.
There you go.
Well said.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Tone.
Do you think they go through that in like business school? I never went to a business school, but do you think that is a chapter or a session? Like, hey,
wait, what?
When people that are working in the company that you run, if they are potentially searching for big wet butts or anything, Peter North's catalog, how do you handle that situation? I only handle it the way I knew how, which is publicly shaming, and I don't know if that's the right way or not, but hey, it needs to stop with the gigabytes.
I agree. I don't know why you're looking at me. You should be.
It was literally Ty's laptop is what it said. Just like it said, by the way, Connor's laptop is eating all this.
Yeah, and we already did that yesterday. Yeah. We put that to rest. I mean, shit, I couldn't get the podcast up on time because these guys are downloading so many big wet butt videos on my computer. It's ridiculous.
Gross.
I'm sick of it.
What you do, Pat, is you send it to HR, and HR handles it normally.
Okay, we'll send it to H&R. Right. Just know that I know what H&R said, and they said fucking enough.
I agree.
Yeah, tell them.
All right, show's wrapping up, AJ. We got 2 minutes. I mean, I don't know how to put a bow on the day that was Thursday.
None of us are perverts. We're just dying, okay?
Jesus.
What?
There it is. There it is. Clip that right now. Clip that right now. We got it. We got him. Yeah!
Connor, you have not done 23andMe. You don't know if you're a part Italian yet or not.
No, I don't, but now I know that if I am, hey, I'm not perverted. I'm just Italian.
Frank, what are your thoughts on this? First, it was a government official who was pretty powerful Italian there for a while saying that, and now we got DeGiulio from the Pittsburgh tribe of Italians that I have been saying all week, hey, what you're reading about Italians is not like the Italians that I have been around. Now Diggs goes right in that microphone as loud as possible and says, nah, we are that type of Italian. What's that all about, Frank? Have you guys been hiding this perverted shit from me all my life over there with the Italians?
You know how easily influenced Tone is, and I'm afraid if we check his logs, you're going to find something a lot worse than big wet butts.
Bigger water butts? Every 12 hours.
All right, listen, I don't know about any of that. I don't care about what you guys are doing in your phones, in your own time, on your own internet. What I'm saying is no more big wet butts, Ty. Okay, I don't care how it happens. We need to get. We live on the internet. We can't have the internet being
happily
ate up
married, Ty. Come on.
Like what you had going on over there.
Like I said, what's going on in the dark will one day come to the light.
Boom.
Gumpy, Mitt, you sick sons of bitches. I'm tired of you guys.
Also, Italians, it sounds like.
Yeah,
pervert.
Tony's actually big greasy butts.
All right.
That's
perfect. Jake Paul.
All right. Anything to say to Chris Mad Dog Russo listener coming on in 6 minutes after this break here, AJ?
I mean, I would assume that Mad Dog will continue this conversation on the other side.
We came back at such an awkward time. We had no chance. No. I did not expect this. Hopefully tomorrow will be better. Mad Dog Unleashes in 6. Cheers. Jesus Christ. Boys,
Wait, was Big Wet Butts really like some? Did your IT guys?
If you leave your computer,
bro, it was eating the internet. We had it was.
They were too big for the whole thing.
There was somebody. It was 2 G's, 1 T, and that's probably why it was happening. But I literally get an email. Hey, is everything okay over there? It seems like one particular device is eating a large amount of the gigs that you guys have. And then they go, let us investigate further. It is Ty's device, and the issue is big wet butts. Yep. And I'm like, well, this is hysterical. Obviously, I have to go talk to Ty. We go out into the group. I'm like, Ty, what are you doing? Can't do it. And then that turns into a full finger-pointing session, obviously, with everybody.
They got on his laptop, and we used to do this in college. Yeah. They made Ty look bad.
So
Thank you,
When did you
AJ.
do that? When did you do that?
In college, different times. If you got on somebody, you set their background of their computer to maybe a picture that they may not like, things like that.
How old were you then?
20, 21.
What years were that, you think?
2005.
It is 2021. You guys are fucking damn near 40. Enough.
Come on, guys.
Mitt's not. Mitt is that age. Mitt thought it was like the funniest thing ever when he did this.
Crying, laughing, tears.
No, he was crying because he was coughing.
Wow.
True.
That's what it was.
Anyways,
Constantly.
This show is the fucking worst, dude.
I didn't hit the bong at all today, dude, is what he told me yesterday.
Hey, listen, Biggs, I want to let you know, although a lot of fingers are being pointed at Ty right now, you threw yourself into an Italian catastrophe at the end.
If that's a grenade I need to fall on, I will.
What? I don't think no. Diggs.
Tony.
This is not good. I think you're going down the wrong.
I don't think I realize what I'm saying.
No, clearly. Let that grenade blow up, Tony.
Which is very Italian of you, by the way.
Just keep talking then, Diggs. If you don't know what you're saying, just keep speaking.
Thanks, H.
Hey, I would like to let everybody know that the opinions of our COVID cowboy do not reflect that of his employer or his peers.
Tell you what, I need Yellowstone to come back because my tank is running on E as far as Cowboys concerned.
Oh, you don't wear the hat anymore?
I love the hat, but I just need a reboost.
Well, you need to maybe watch a different show. Watch that Shiny Flakes thing. Maybe you just start selling drugs on the internet.
That'd be sweet.
That guy got caught. He stinks. I don't know why we're all fucking cheering for this guy.
I don't know. I wouldn't go that far. He did get caught, but he definitely doesn't stink.
Is he in
He
jail?
knows what he's doing. No.
Oh,
You know, we have talked about this before, and we're kind of wasting time before the problem child joins us. But the Diggs is a guy who's a chameleon. He'll watch a show, and he becomes the characters on the show. Mad Men, he was selling ads in the 50s. I saw him with his hair slicked back. He was drinking Old Fashioned. I went back to Pittsburgh. It was a whole new thing. So what is going on there? And everybody was like, oh, he's watching Mad Men. He's watching Mad Men. I'm like, okay, so it's Halloween every single day with this thing? No, he kind of became the character, and he has done that for a lot of things. The COVID Cowboy has happened because of Yellowstone and Kevin Costner, but they haven't had a new season in some time. We often wondered how long this Cowboy was going to last because we thought he would maybe dive into another show. He has not done such a thing. I'm pretty proud of you. This is very, very impressive.
Luckily, due to COVID, a lot of production was stopped. So there hasn't been a lot of new shows coming out.
Have you just been watching Cuomo's press conferences
That's
every night?
that's been the issue the last few fucking days.
Sally, we need to get you out of here. We need you to start watching other Italian stuff so
You're
you
right.
can get back into the fold of
Wasn't Anthony Weiner an Italian too?
All right.
That's true. Could watch some of his press conferences.
Tone Weens?
There's a documentary on him. It's pretty fascinating.
Yeah, he's not a good guy.
Don't get into the ton weens. This is not.
Diggs, you might want to lock it up.
You lock it up.
That's the thing, though. We can't. No, you lock it up.
You lock it up.
We can't let these things get into Diggs' life because we potentially see an entire remodel, of Diggs.
Did he watch Peaky Blinders? I'd love to see him in a Peaky Blinders phase.
Oh, yeah. You should see the amount of peacoats I bought during that phase.
Were you ever Nucky Thompson out there? Did you go through
Not
the...
really. Nucky was not my guy. I did, however, Jimmy Darmody.
Yeah.
I immediately got his haircut. AJ still has it.
AJ's kids, by the way, all have the same haircut.
No way.
Yeah, Hendrix, his oldest, literally has the same exact cut, has that thing gelled down at all times,
Damn.
too. It's awesome. He looks... there is zero questioning on whether or not AJ is the father of his kids. Zero question. You look they look exactly like you.
Yeah, people tend to tell me that. Yeah.
So
that's a lot better than the alternative. Though, Like there's a chance that your kid looks nothing like you, and then for at least a couple of years you got to answer questions.
It's true. Jawline will end up being passed down. Then is what you're saying.
I think Hendrix is going to be in the NFL.
Okay, here we go.
I think that's a safe bet. Axel, I'm not 100% sure what he's going to take over in the world. He'll take over something. I think all of his kids are going to be very, very, very successful, I think.
Professionals.
Super hawk-like, all those kids. Wow. They got all the hawk in them, let alone, he's got chops on the other side from the mom. The mom is also, let's not get crazy. Mom, incredible specimen as well. The hawk kids, can we name, image, likeness your kids?
Ooh. Good point. Yeah, when can I start making money off of them?
Now.
Well, I'd like a percentage kind of like PSG did. I would like a percentage now if I start kind of giving them money. I would like future earnings.
Okay, maybe we could talk to Jake about it. I know he's big into NFTs, all different ways to make money now.
Listen, if we get a chance to learn about how to make money from Jake, we will absolutely do such a thing. I think we've called him. He did not answer. He's probably training. He's got a fight win coming up.
Where's he living? Where's he training? Do you know?
Puerto.
So him and Logan both have a gym down in Puerto Rico, right?
I think so, yeah.
But on the internet, I see them at a lot of events in a lot of places. So I think they just have their own planes and just fly around. They do whatever they want, which I don't understand how more people don't be like, hey,
I think he moved out of L.A. Yeah. Jake moved out of California, I believe.
I think Puerto Rico. They have a gym in Puerto Rico, but they're in Vegas for Sugar Sean's fight, and then the UFC fight in Miami. Basically, everything they do is tracked. I mean, so at this
fighting Tyron in Cleveland, which is where they're from.
Yeah.
So.
August 29th, big time fight. Hey, on Showtime Sports. Let's go. Let's see what happens.
Who's on the undercards? Do we know?
We can ask. Is he a part of booking those, by the way? Because that Triller thing, was he a part of the?
I thought, yeah.
Is Triller gone?
No, they just did they got the Tito Ortiz, Anderson Silva is Triller.
Okay, so that'll do good. It will. We'll watch. I will watch clips of that. I will watch clips of that. And if they get Mount Westmore to perform again, I'll watch that a little bit. But I think Triller made a fatal flaw in bringing in Davidson that particular evening. And although it made a couple clips, I don't think Jake Paul was like, okay, I'll continue to make money for you guys. I'm about out of
They
here.
also failed to tell the commentators that, hey, you don't have to just talk shit about Jake Paul and how he's bad for boxing.
Or
'cause you
Logan.
think so. Or Logan, yeah. They kind of dropped the ball there, too.
Yeah, like, hey, the only reason why you're working right now.
Because of these two guys. That's why people are watching.
You can still get your little narrative across while still doing your thing. Yeah. Let's go to the 5 Hour Energy phone lines here before we get a hold of Jake. Probably not. Maybe we will. How many times you called him?
Officially 3. And that's usually like to get past the, was that the silencer
Yeah,
thing?
do not disturb.
I could try 4th, but
I just
feel like
emailed the guy, so we'll see what he says.
This is Ty Schmidt booking.
Attaboy, Ty.
Who's the guy, Ty?
I don't really want to blow the guy's spot up
Come
out
on.
there. I think he's a publicist of some sort or something.
Okay.
Used to wrestle him.
Have you gave your 2 cents on Suicide Squad yet?
I watched Suicide Squad last night.
How'd John Cena do?
John Cena was good.
Okay.
I think my biggest takeaway is I'm very excited that in 2021, in the world that we're in, somebody presented that film to be made, and somebody said, "Yep, we'll give you $200 million for that." You know, like I think that's awesome. Just the way it flowed, not really. You know, the way the way it was written, the things that were said by big time stars, Cena included. Like it was nothing that I expected. This is not a movie that I would normally watch, but since John Cena's in it, I'm going to watch it. I didn't fully comprehend how it got the green light, but I was happy that it did. The first 5 minutes almost made me turn it off. I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, all right, I'm not smart enough or good enough to get through this movie, I can already tell. But then they reset it. They did the whole thing. I enjoyed it. It was a nice little mental vacation. Very dumb, very stupid. A lot of big time money spent on very cool things, but I enjoyed it, I think. I enjoyed it. I would have never watched it if it wasn't for my wife saying, "No, let's keep watching. I would have got out of there earlier, but I'm happy I stayed till the end, and I can't wait to see Peacemaker's little runoff thing with Cena.
Well, that's the only movies that are getting made now. To Connor's guy, Matt Damon, in that one of those articles, he said, like,
son of a
yeah, of course, like movie studios, they're going to greenlight these franchise movies that they make 5, 6, 7 of them superhero movies. They're not going to say, like, okay. He was saying, like, big movie stars usually don't sell movies anymore. It's the franchise that sells it.
Well, that makes sense, and I can understand that completely. Matt Damon has said a lot of things from what I've been told, but that I believe that potential thing makes a lot of sense because when I was watching it, you see how do people buy costumes of these people? Is that something you guys are big superhero people? Yeah. Do people buy those? Like that helmet of Peacemaker is probably going to be
Harley Quinn's probably the most like popular one for the last like 15.
Just for Halloween though, right? For trick or treat.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, is that what those things? I've never gotten.
I've never
into
seen any of them. Like, I don't know any of them, so it's like I can't start now, and I have no desire to start. But I don't. I feel like I'm years behind.
I don't think Suicide Squad is one of those things where you have to know anything going in. It seems like it's pretty much just like
toys, gentlemen. They make a massive amount of money in toys and licensing that out as well.
Hey, no way. The Shark.
Yeah,
that's my dude.
Unbelievable. Sylvester Stallone.
Sly, good work,
Rocky.
Sly.
That's
Hey,
Stallone.
does Cena have a big role?
Doesn't Cena has a massive role? Cena has a very large role. Actually, as soon as he gets introduced, he is the one in front of everybody else on the camera. Which I was like, oh, okay, because Idris is that
Idris Elba
is a massive star. So Cena kind of getting the rub there, I thought was pretty awesome for obviously WWE and for Cena, but not normally a movie I would watch. Normally a movie I would have turned off. Wife made me stick with it. Happy I did, but boy, there's a lot of fucking nonsense that happens through that entire thing.
Pretty awesome how they kill off people immediately, though, that you think might be there for the entire movie.
Spoiler, the first couple minutes, everybody dies.
Cena doesn't die.
Well, fascinating.
Oh, is it a look back? The whole movie's like a back in time?
Yeah, they do. It's an interesting timeline that happens in that thing. Also, Cocaine Cowboys, I watched a little bit more.
Yeah.
Speaking of timeline, the way they did that thing, I got into episode 3, I think.
Oh, really? I'm on episode 2 now.
I'm stuck on 4.
Incredible.
Can't get through it.
Keep falling asleep.
It does put
Then I
me
don't
on.
know where I'm at.
Cocaine Cowboys has become my sleeper.
Yeah.
Malice at the Palace is unbelievable.
A lot of people talking and saying how good that is. I've gotten messages from athletes and players from other cities asking about Indiana after watching the Malice in the Palace thing, because I guess it paints the full story a little bit more than what we've all heard and seen. Speaking of Malice in the Palace, there is a massive fight Sunday, August 29th on Showtime.
The man that'll be involved in the main event has rewritten the history books when it comes to the sport of boxing, when it comes to being an independent businessman, a person that I am a massive fan of, because without him, his brother, and a couple others, we would not be able to do what we do right now for a living. Ladies and gentlemen, undefeated global superstar boxer, Jake Paul. Yeah! What up, dude?
Bro, I need to pay you to do my intros all the time.
Hey, I'm pretty good at them, Jake. It's kind of a thing I do, but it only happens with people I actually respect. I can't fake it. You know, it's tough for me to fake it. You know what I mean?
No, well, I appreciate the kind words, man, and it means a lot, and I'm a big fan of your show. AJ, watched you growing up, man, so yeah, happy to be here.
Listen, you Ohio guys are something special. I mean, always have been, always will be. I'm from Pittsburgh. AJ and I have a great relationship, I think, because of the massive amount of Ohio he is. I think watching you, Jake, though, from afar, just, you know, as when you're in the spotlight in young ages, as you're trying to grow and develop, you can make some mistakes and the world sees it. I think what you have been able to do and trailblaze business-wise for shows like us and other people, I want to let you know, massive ally, massive fan. I appreciate you for joining us, Jake Paul.
100%, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Trying to change the game, make history, and innovate, pave the way.
How'd you get into boxing? Did you just get bored of making hundreds of millions of dollars dominating the internet, or what? You said, you know what, I need to get punched in the face? What were you thinking?
Honestly, like partially true there. I was sort of sick of filming. I was like filming every single day for 2 years straight. And these other YouTubers in the UK called my brother and I out, and we basically signed a deal to fight them. And we had like 4 months to learn how to box. And I knew that everyone wanted to see me lose because I was like a very polarizing figure at the time. Like everyone, there was like this whole, hate wave of Jake Paul. So I just made it my mission not to lose, and sort of just fell in love with the sport, beat my first opponent, and just loved the content, loved the press conferences, loved winning, loved standing on the ropes, flexing on everyone afterwards. So I just fell in love with it.
Jake, what part of your whole crazy life do you not love right now that obviously you're all over the place, you're a unique, polarizing character? Is there anything you wish you didn't have to deal with?
I try to live life with like no regrets and just have like a positive mindset. I think, boxing is something that you have to sacrifice so much to do. It's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And so part of me misses, the old days where I would just wake up and do whatever I wanted. But look, I'm having fun, enjoying life, and, the critics sometimes will try to ruin what you're doing and hate on you and, bring you back down because they don't like to see people succeed in anything. Yeah. And so just dealing with them and shutting them up, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, being a star on the internet, and not just, star is kind of understating it, but then watching the mainstream kind of catch up to you and your brother, and it's been awesome, because now you got people dealing with the Paul brothers who I don't think they fully understand everything you've accomplished on the internet and how hard it is to accomplish what you were able to accomplish on the internet after your Disney fame and everything like that, the amount of work that goes into it. But now mainstream people are, they know who the Paul brothers are. They know who the problem child Jake Paul is. Whenever you had that Triller fight and Pete Davidson, I thought for sure that they had to go, just like the Green Bay Packers with Aaron Rodgers, when they make decisions, they should do that. I thought for sure, since you were kind of introducing a lot of us to this Triller, I had no idea what the fuck a Triller was. I probably should. I'm a social media company. I don't know what that was. But whenever you were having fights on there, like you introduced me to Triller, I signed up for it. Then listen to Pete Davidson, like the way he was talking the entire time, I was like, oh, Jake must just be like, yeah, that's cool. We'll buy into that whole thing. Did you expect, and then the commentators basically being like, oh, this is bad for boxing. We were like, what the fuck? Like, the only reason why this is happening is because Jake has decided and Logan has decided. Do you guys have a hands-on with the production, or are you more so stand off and just kind of work your business and show up and do your thing?
No, yeah. So that was a situation that sort of got out of control. I was very involved in the production as much as I could be. I was the one who came up with the idea to have Pete Davidson because I thought he would do a great job. And then, boom, all of a sudden they show up and start talking shit during the broadcast. I didn't know that was even happening. I was focused on my fight. And afterwards, my manager was pissed at Triller, and that was just a nightmare. And you're right. I'm the one who literally hired these guys to be there, and they're sitting there, they're talking shit. So yeah, if I ever see Pete Davidson, I'm slapping the shit out of him.
On site, huh? On site.
100%. A good old backhand because he's a bitch. Just a good bop.
Yeah, gotta do it. Go ahead, AJ.
Hey, this fight is on Showtime pay-per-view. Is it going to be, are we going to get to see some of the absurdity that we have seen in the past on some of your fights? I feel like Showtime's more buttoned up, more professional. What you do is professional, but I love the bizarre, circus atmosphere that surrounds your fights.
I think there'll be some different elements to it, but it's definitely going to be a lot more buttoned up, a lot more professional, and more so focused on the fight. I think I had a bad taste. I think even my fans had a bad taste in their mouth after watching that broadcast because even my fans were like, what do we watch? Isn't this Jake's event? Why are they talking shit about him? And so for this one, we kind of wanted to just dial it back, focus back on the fight. And, some people loved the circus thing. Some people didn't like it. So we're sort of just testing out new things within the sport. And, you will see some awesome things like my outfit that I'm wearing, my shorts. I've never seen anything like it done before. So there's some cool things, cool surprises on fight night. But for the most part, it's going to be more professional.
Okay. Hey, don't wear a 40-pound suit. Deontay Wilder lost to Fury because he was fucking tired. You know what I mean? Walking out to the ring or whatever. The Mount Westmore performance, though, love that.
Yeah.
Beeves, love that. I mean, you made it an event. You made it a spectacle, which I think was desperately needed, not just in boxing, but in the world. Hey, we need something to entertain and to entertain us, and I think we did that. Let's get to the fight, though. Tyron Woodley, this is a striker, right? That's the big conversation. It's hey, this guy has lightning in his hands, as do you, by the way. That's all you've done is knock people out. Are you training differently, or is just kind of the evolution of Jake Paul, the problem child boxer, and you're just kind of going to go in there and handle business?
Yeah, no, look, this is my hardest fight for sure, most serious opponent. And so everything in this camp is more serious, I have to be perfect on August 29th, and this is a guy with knockout power, one of the best welterweights ever, and I know that, and my team knows that, my coaches know that, and so we're doing everything in our power to prepare for him, doing everything right in camp, and this has been the most serious I've ever trained, and the most amount of sacrifices, the most amount of isolation I've ever done. So I'm ready, and it's been a perfect camp. But Tyron is a serious opponent.
Are you in Puerto Rico?
Yes, sir.
Hey, you and your brother.
I'm wearing my Puerto Rico shirt right now.
Yeah, I think you're in charge of the tourism department over there. I think as soon as we heard you two were moving down there, we're like, okay, what the fuck's in Puerto Rico? There has to be a reason they're going down there. You've kind of just did it to get away, to escape, and then you just fly back whenever you need to be at a thing, and then you go back to Puerto Rico?
Yeah, look, man, I came down here and I fell in love with it. It's simply paradise. Originally I was thinking of moving to Miami because of the beaches and the ocean and, all that stuff. But then I go to the beach, I get hit by the paparazzi. A bunch of people are attacking me on the beach. I'm like, what's going on? I come to Puerto Rico. It's private, secluded, and so amazing here. My brother lives right across the street from me. So, it's really a perfect situation for training. And the boxing scene down here is incredible, like the talent. So there's good sparring and amazing places to train, amazing places to run, amazing gyms. So it's really the perfect place for me to be for the next chapter of my life.
You talked about not getting hit in your first 2 fights. Only professional boxer ever to basically not, or 3 fights, not to get punched in your first couple fights ever. In those sparring sessions, and we've talked to a couple MMA guys, and we've talked to have we ever talked to a boxer?
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, Evander Holyfield, but that was obviously towards the end there.
Yeah.
He was not in the middle of his fighting. Are you getting punched in the face in these sparring sessions? Is there off-limit rules? Have you gotten tested on whenever you have to eat a couple and bounce back? Has that ever happened before? And in sparring, are you guys going that far, or are you kind of laying off of that?
No, sparring we go 100%, 110%. My nose is crooked. I don't know.
AJ Hawks, yeah.
I got a little black eye here. Another one over here, just kind of going away. But I go through real tough moments in sparring. I'm sparring really, really tough guys, top high-level world champion boxers, high-level MMA guys, bare knuckle fighters. Those guys are tough. And they crack me in the face. I get hit every day in sparring in the gym. But in the fights, I've just managed to knock people out. I think when the 10-ounce gloves come on, I just stop these people and they don't have enough time to even get to me.
That's awesome.
Hey, Jake, you mentioned you haven't been hit in a fight, but where people claim you have been hit is when you crashed your brother's whole situation in Miami, and Floyd's guys grabbed you and started roughing you up. They acted like they really pummeled you. How'd you feel after that?
Yeah, no, they roughed me up pretty good. Floyd, they were not happy, man. I took his hat, and that was the main thing. They were like, "Give us the hat!" And I was like, "No," I was holding on to it, and I didn't want to give it to him. And then there was 10 guys pushing me down into the cement. And I was like, all right, fine, I'll give you the hat. And I was like, all right, you want the hat? All right. So, but Floyd got me with a good uppercut. And yeah, I had a black eye. But, I told Logan afterwards, 10 guys holding me back, both my arms back, my neck extended, my face down, and Floyd rips an uppercut shot, bare knuckle, hits me in the eye, and I was like, damn, that didn't even hurt. He hit me in the perfect spot. He hit me in the perfect spot where I got a black eye. But I told Logan afterwards, I was like, bro, this guy doesn't have punching power. You're gonna beat this guy. So I don't know.
I love the fact that you just eat an uppercut from Floyd Mayweather. You know what I learned there? I mean, I definitely have a black eye, but my fucking guy didn't knock me out. No? Hey, Logan, this should feel pretty good going into your fight. Go ahead, Ty.
Jake, you obviously, how polarizing you are, so you have to have thick skin. But does it ever piss you off when you go into, these fights and you've put all this, time and effort into becoming a boxer and guys still shit on you and underestimate you? Does that piss you off at all, or do you prefer that going into a fight? It's all right, well, no one's expecting me to do anything, and I'm about to fucking put this guy to sleep.
Yeah, I guess I don't mind, and I almost think that people are doing that because they don't want to accept the reality of the situation, and they're just making excuses for the MMA community or making excuses for Tyron Woodley. But I think everyone has to see that I can actually fight, and if not, then they're just not ready to accept reality, and then I just don't care about those people, and soon they will respect me. I think I have a lot more to prove, and I understand why there are still a ton of critics, and I haven't really even been able to show my boxing ability. I haven't shown my inside game. I haven't showed my cardio. I haven't shown my ability to take a punch. So I think I do still have a lot of respect to earn, and I never try to dig into what the critics are saying.
Okay, you got a big brain. All right, you're from Ohio, so obviously you Ohio folks are, a special fucking breed of human, obviously. But you have a very big brain. It's obvious what you've been able to build, accomplish business-wise, and also you're bringing a sport back into full relevance. I mean, you have a massive brain. At what point did you say, you know what? Need a fucking robot? Did you watch Avatar and you saw them get into the thing and you're like, yeah, I need one of those? When did the robot become a thing? Because it is spectacular.
Thank you, man. Man, I'm just thinking constantly how to do things differently and how to brand myself better than everyone else in this sport. And I was thinking, like, why does every NFL team have a mascot? Why does every NBA team have a mascot? How come boxers don't have a mascot? And so I literally started scouring the internet to find the person who could make me the dopest Transformer problem child mascot ever.
It is, by the way. It is very sweet.
Yeah.
So who is that? The same person? It has to be somebody you very much trust in there, because I think they were getting in Tyron Woodley's face. Actually, I think there was a full thing happening. Is there any rules or guidelines on what that robot can do?
He's kind of has his free reign. He's the problem bot. So. He can cause problems and get away with a lot of shit, but he does talk. He does talk a lot. He does have a loud mouth, so it's been pretty funny in the press conferences.
Hey, business-wise, anything you haven't accomplished yet that you want to do? How old are you? Sorry,
I'm 24.
Okay, so we've seen you since you're 12 years old, basically. You just kind of take over, and there's been, you shut down Vine. Basically, you and your brother shut down Vine. You created basically this YouTuber existence thing at this point. You're 24 years old. You trailblazed for us to do what we're doing right now and actually be a legitimate show. Is there anything business-wise that you look to accomplish, or right now everything's focused on boxing?
I think the boxing and the business go hand in hand. I have my venture capital fund, anti-fund, that I run on a day-to-day basis, which has been crushing it. And that and boxing are sort of my main focuses, and just looking to build some brands here in the next couple of months. But I think the overall goal is to become a billionaire, just to say I did it. I've had the challenge for myself since I was, I think, 18 years old. And it's not even necessarily about the money. I just think hey, if, that guy over there can become a billionaire, or Joe Schmo can become a billionaire for inventing Billy Bob teeth. I want to challenge myself, and I want to become a billionaire just to say I did it.
Yeah, that'd be a cool resume piece. I also have the same dreams, not because of the cash, but because there's only a few amount of people that have ever been able to accrue that amount of success. I think you're obviously well on your way. Pool Noodle guy also made $1 billion, so something to think about.
Yeah.
Connor, what do you got?
Yeah, Jake, obviously you're focused on the Woodley fight, but looking ahead, have you ever considered, you and Logan going at it, or you guys just Team Paul forever, no matter what?
No, we've considered it, and I think everyone sort of wants that to happen besides our parents. And so my dad, anytime I get asked about it in an interview or is mentioned to him, he freaks out and calls both me and my brother, or puts us in a group chat and is like, no, absolutely not. This isn't happening. I hate everyone who thinks they want you to do this and blah, blah, blah. It's not worth the money. But there's always this thing between Logan and I when we're both boxing, even when we're both sparring, we're both in the same gym. It's always kind of who is better? So I don't know.
He's got the reach, right? For sure on you?
Yeah, he's about ½ inch to an inch taller, and we actually have the same reach, and I'm actually heavier. I'm actually heavier, which a lot of people don't realize, because he has a massive upper body, but he sort of skips leg day, and and I have these tree trunk legs.
So have you ever virtual reality boxed?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so that's all I do, Jake. Listen, that's all I do. All right, I don't want to get punched in the actual face, but I'm in the Oculus. All right, and I'm throwing these big bombs. That first time you were in the gym, whenever the European guys called you out, Did you know immediately, like, hey, this is what I'm gonna love? I'm gonna love. Was it something you knew immediately, and would you change how you got into boxing any different way?
I wouldn't change it, no, but it was sort of rough. The first couple of sparring sessions, I was in there against like an undefeated pro named Nico for the first couple of sessions, and he wasn't really holding back, and that's how we learned. Like, we learned the hard way. I remember my first couple of sessions, I was like bleeding out of my face, and like I was like, what is this sport? Why are we doing this? And I was only able to go like 2 rounds at the time. So it was a very hard start, and it's been a very long journey since that moment. But people, always say like, oh, how long have you been boxing, or how many years? And the answer is 3.5 years. But the quality of those years and the quality of that experience is far greater than 3.5 years. So you could be doing something for 20 years straight, but doing it the wrong way and think you're good at it.
Yeah, the quality of the hours mean a lot more than the quantity of the hours. And Jake, next Sunday, August 29th, live in Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio on Showtime. You'll be fighting against Tyron Woodley, former UFC champion. We're pulling for you and your problem bot, bub.
Awesome, man. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to talking again.
Oh, you come back on the show, maybe?
100%, baby. Let's go.
Hey, that'd be very nice. You'd be blessing us, and we know that right now, so I appreciate the hell out of you. Good luck in your training. Good luck in your fighting. Can't wait to see you the night, Sunday, August 29th, bub.
Awesome, man. I'm going to get this KO. Peace out, guys.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Paul. I'm going to get this KO. He just knocks people out.
Yeah.
And this is a massive one, by the way. And I think, I forget who it was. Somebody in the fight game was talking about how, we're watching literally like his first couple fights here, and we're judging him as if he's a 20-year vet or whatever. You're not seeing all the great boxers' first couple fights that were in basements or in conference halls against absolutely nobody. He has been, just like everything else in his life, projected to the world in everything he does. I have the utmost respect for that guy. I did not know an Ohio dad, though, would be like, nah, you guys ain't fighting each other. I assumed Ohio dad would be like, hey, let's go ahead and see who's got it.
Strap up.
Hey, how about Dad getting involved? Imagine if Dad was like, hey, if you guys are going to fight somebody in this family, it's going to be me.
Referee even.
That would be awesome. I enjoy him, man. I really do. He's made decisions in the past while growing that people hate him for, but you can't knock his hustle, effort, and everything he's really accomplished,
I mean, it's really hard what he's doing. I mean, to box, and this is by far his biggest test, Tyron Woodley. I know that. He knows that.
And by the way, it's not just really hard to box. Like, building a brand on the internet.
He's willing to go all in and cross the line. Like, he is not. We always talk about, like, when somebody is all in, whether we agree with him or not, you got to respect it. Yeah. He's not just tippy-toeing around.
He's always Jake Paul, I feel like.
Yeah.
Which I love.
Also, I had no idea he had a fucking venture capitalist firm that he was running.
Of course he does. The anti-fund. Of course he does. And that's the thing, like, every time, like, when I heard Pete Davidson talking about Jake Paul, and then when I heard Mauro Ranallo, who I have a lot of respect for, by the way. I have a lot of respect for Mauro Ranallo, the way he calls everything, including fights. But the way they were talking about Logan and Jake as if like, oh, this is disrespectful for the sport. It's like, well, they're the only reason why you're here. Okay, just want to let you know that the only reason why you're working this particular job. And also, do you have any fucking idea how hard it is to build the business that they have built on the internet aside? Like, you have no clue how impossible what they have accomplished.
They have no idea. It's true. They have no idea. They think it just happens, I think.
Yeah. Oh, just get on the internet and I'll become... Never mind. I think we're seeing a lot of people get into the internet just completely. Yeah. You know what I mean? I think a lot of people are falling off the humble cliff and hitting every single rock on the way down. You know what I mean? I think that is happening to
Who are you talking about?
Nobody. You know who I'm talking about.
I really don't, but...
It's a hypothetical. It's not real. I'm just saying in the future it seems like that's going to happen.
Well, to your point, because we've seen him or he's been around so long, like, it's very easy to forget, like, 24 is fucking young still. You know what I mean? Like, he is still super young.
He has literally put a platform to sleep and then created one.
Yeah.
With his brother, and now he's building boxing back up. He's awesome. Carli Lloyd was cool today. Appreciate her. She did not enjoy us, I don't think.
You don't think?
I don't know.
I thought she had like a swimsuit on, so I think she was pumped to go in the pool, and that's what she was looking for.
Oh, we were in row. Shit. A little bit of a giveaway there. It's on me. I would have flopped there, got the call. Somebody came out behind me, you know what I mean? Barcelona signing me tomorrow.
Free kick.
Imagine if I get out there for Barcelona. Barcelona.
Well, I can't pay you nothing, so fuck 'em.
I'd pay to play for that Farmers League. Barcelona. Wear Messi's old number too.
Ooh.
Let's go. Sell 8 jerseys instead of 832,000. All right, I'm out of here, huh? How about you? You done?
Yeah, I like your Jordans.
Hey, I haven't worn. I found these in the bottom of the closet. I haven't worn these in a long time.
Yeah, those are nice.
These, what are these? Does anybody know what the hell these are? Mitt, what are these?
Saw them during the interview. It's like, yeah, those are some sweet colors.
I completely forgot I had these. Like, legit, I completely forgot I had these. And I saw them. I'm like, yeah, those are pretty fucking cool, man. And they make me like 3 inches taller.
Yeah, they're sweet.
I'm 6'5" right now, AJ.
Yeah. You're like Seacrest.
All right. That's a show, dude. Hammer Downs in 15. There's no reason
I think
for
he
that.
said it. What do you mean? People wear like lifts in their shoes. I'm not saying he does, but
We're not side shaming anybody here, but Siciliano needs to get treated a lot better at the NFL Network.
I mean, they're fucking
so true.
Sitting him on a goddamn squatty potty down there like he's 40 years
Get
old.
the guy a booster
Bro,
seat.
they're putting Siciliano on these seats that are the size of giants, basically, and then he's sitting next to 2 offensive linemen. He's just sitting there, legs dangling, and they got him on
on a
NFL
slant.
Network. Yeah, and he's down in the. I mean, Siciliano should have looked at that setup and been like, I ain't doing it.
No way.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm not standing next to fucking Joe Thomas, all right? Where's Rap Sheet? Bring him
By the
out
way,
here now.
Not just next to Joe Thomas. On the far side of Joe Thomas from the camera, Joe Thomas looked like an avatar.
Yeah.
And Siciliano literally looked like Jacob Solly before he hopped. I mean, it was unbelievable to watch this. It was
this yesterday or is this today?
every day all week. Siciliano needs to take a stand.
Legitimately.
I need to look this up.
Every time I turn on Training Camp Live or whatever it is, and Siciliano's on the beat, it's like awesome. He's going to be good. And then as soon as you stop hearing his voice over the highlights, they cut to him sitting there, and it's like, somebody at NFL Network hates Andrew Siciliano. All right, this does not need to happen.
That's what it looks like.
No, it's even worse than that, dude.
He doesn't deserve it, is what I'm saying.
So what should he do?
He needs to stand up. Maybe just stand up while everybody else is sitting down, but also say, hey, give me a different seat that doesn't make it very obvious that I'm not as big as Joe fucking Thomas is. I mean, this seat, dude, he was sitting down, and this was like one side of it. Like, imagine this being a seat. This is literally this was the one half of it, and then the other one was over here. It might have been the largest seat I've ever seen in my entire life. He was sitting on.
A throne.
I mean, it sounds like he would be very uncomfortable in that seat too.
You could tell he was.
He was. Yeah, and they're not letting Siciliano fly either because he's obviously being held back by the obvious optics of what the situation is. I'm trying to look out for him.
He should just stand on that seat now and be way bigger than everybody.
See, that might look.
That might look worse.
They need to get him a new chair, I think, and just maybe let him get a little bit closer to the camera.
Yeah.
Maybe get him like a big jacket or something.
All right, we're out of here.
Maybe get him like a Jake Paul robot that he could get inside of.
That's what it looks like, though. Joe Thomas looks like problem bot. And
on
then
a
Siciliano
horse.
looks like problem child. You know what I mean? Like that is. And you know how that bot stands right behind Jake or whatever? That's kind of what it looked like on NFL Network. And Siciliano doesn't deserve it.
He doesn't.
All right, 15 minutes, hammered down. We'll start. Are we making money today or what? Gumpy's making money for all of us every day.
2-0 today.
Let's go. AJ. I don't know if he's full of shit or not. It's unbelievable, dude. He's just he's a cash cow right now.
That's great, Gumpy. You should be very excited. You should stay happy because it's a guarantee that this is going to stay. You're going to stay hot. There's no way you're going downhill.
Thank you, AJ. I appreciate that.
I'm always hot, pal. The money's not going anywhere but into my pocket.
That was a deep fake. That was not actually Gumpy.
I like what he said, though.
Actual Gumpy does agree with that, though.
Well, Trudeau's probably getting 60% still.
Well, the issue here is
That
Foxy,
guy stinks.
who's cutting cameras now, literally doesn't know if it's actual Gumpy or deep fake Gumpy. He's been wrong 3 times today and cut to deep fake Gumpy when it was actual Gumpy speaking.
This is actual Gumpy.
No. It looks like him and sounds like him. That's deep fake, pal.
Wow. Are we sure?
I don't know.
We got Nigel on today, though.
That was real, Gumpy.
No, Foxy.
Someone say something here.
Which? Say something. Fake Gumpy.
Oh. You got a gump off.
Show sinks. Hammer downs in 15 minutes. Cheers.